Canelo exposed by Bivol proudly presents something the boxing games were missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of Canelo exposed by Bivol's subscribers. Now we got a great live for you guys today. It's going to be a marvelous time. We got a great topic for you guys, a lot to talk about, a lot to dissect and assess. But let me be proper. Give Pops his introduction. So to my left, we have a man that really needs an introduction because he's known the whole world over, all around the boxing world. He's so known. I don't even have to tell you this, Pops. He's so known. When I went to California, Doug Fisher from a magazine said, "I like your dad. Tell him I said hi." So Pops in the building.
Yeah, welcome to Two School Sports, and let's go ahead and chime in, brother.
Absolutely. So listen, man, big news today in the boxing world. We had Ryan Garcia and Isaac Cruz, Pitbull. Their fight has been ordered by the WBC, so now we just have to wait and see what all parties involved do. Does Oscar and PBC get the fight over the line and make it happen? We will see. But that's time for today's live, and we'll get into some other stuff as well. Make sure you guys smash that like button. If you're watching the playback, smash that like button and continue to support all the content here on the. I almost said it. Canelo exposed by Bivol. I almost said my other channel name, but yeah. And you know what? Look, I'm gonna get to the comments in a second. But speaking of channel names, I want to encourage everybody here because look, a lot of people have been saying that BT, you shouldn't just stop calling the channel Canelo exposed by Bivol after this week. You should extend it another week. So listen, it wasn't me, it's the people. So now my thing is this. You guys can go vote on our poll right now. You can go on True School Sports. You can go to the community post, and it's right there. If you want me to extend the channel being called Canelo Exposed by Bivol, not just this week, but for all of next week as well, you can vote yes or no. And at the end of a couple days, I'll definitely we'll see what the people say. I'll give it 48 hours and we'll see what the polls look like. But anyway, aside from that, go vote on the poll. Aside from that, let's get some comments. Let's get some comments and let's definitely acknowledge the fine folk who have already showed up. So we have my main man, Kevin Effect. He says, shout out to the Untouchable, a.k.a. Canelo Exposed by Bivol. And shout out to Bivol. I'm going to buy all his fights. You damn right. When and if Bivol ever find pay-per-view again, I'm forking it over. I'm buying all his pay-per-view fights. Facts. Salute. Carl Hansen says, salute to the best boxing brain in the business. Thank you, champ. That's a big compliment. I appreciate that. MB20 says, Canelo Exposed by Bivol proudly presents. Andrew Schwapp, what's good, champ? Pitbull within 6 to 8. Yeah, he could catch him. With the pullout, will the pullout king pull out again? Talking about Ryan Garcia. Talking about he's the pullout king. You see how many kids he got? No, I'm joking. Yeah. MAW says, hello, BT and Pops. Yeah, good to see you, MAW. Shout out to you out there in Australia. And Kevin FX says the Canelo fans are going to put on that back signal on that poll. We're gonna see. We're gonna see. I don't think. I think it'll probably be more no than yes, but I wanted to see for myself. So it is what it is. But listen, man, let's get right to it. The main topic is Ryan Garcia, but there is one thing on Canelo because I saw a tweet that I wanted to kind of touch on and give my little thoughts on. You guys smash that like button. Let me know where you're from, all that good stuff, and I'll get to your comments in a timely manner. So let's go to screen share. So I literally just saw this tweet and I thought it was interesting. So the great trainer from Canada, Russ Abner, he's been in the business a long time. In fact, if you go over here, by 43 years, 43 years, been a cut man. He's the CEO and founder of Rivals Boxing Gloves. So,
oh, wow.
Yeah, that's him. But anyway, Russ Abner said there is absolutely no doubt whatsoever that Bivol was picked by Canelo. Cherry is not the correct term, but he was definitely handpicked. They saw a light punching, inexperienced kid who was hurt by Joe Smith, and they picked him. Believe that. So wow. What do you make of that? What do you make of his tweets? These are our words, people. If you got a problem, take it up with Russ Abner. 43 years of boxing,
take it up. Owner of Boxing Gloves. The proof's in the pudding. You can see it right there from an experienced guy that's been in boxing for 43 years. He's basically come out and said, hey, you know what? Say what you want, Canelo. Say what you want, Reynoso. But you try to handpick, and which you actually did handpick, Bivol. And it was a plan gone wrong.
The only thing in that statement that I'll disagree with is that I'm not going to go as far as to call Bivol inexperienced. Maybe what he means is like inexperience at the pros, because he only had 19 fights as a pro and he hasn't really fought like at that level on that stage. Yeah. But Bivol is everything but inexperienced. Guy has like 300 amateur fights.
I'm telling you, the two faces when the post conference, Reynoso and Canelo, it almost seemed that they were crying because somebody took their candy.
Yeah, absolutely. So very, very interesting. But I agree with his assessment, and I think sometimes when I was a little too fired up earlier in the week, I didn't know what word to use, because I know you said cherry. I didn't say cherry, but handpicked. That's what I meant. That's what I really wanted to say. Handpicked.
And to feel this is like a feel good statement, because to feel good that what you were saying actually came out true, or more or less how you called it out, and to have somebody for 43 years in boxing say a statement like that, you got to put respect to somebody like that.
The post fight narratives have probably been just as annoying as the pre fight narratives, because everybody's like, well, you can't hit on Canelo for daring to be great when he handpicked Bivol. Like he didn't like. I'm not trying to say like, you know, he should have fought this guy, that guy, but you know, Bivol not punching like Beterbiev. We know that. Yeah. Beterbiev punch like a Mack truck.
What?
And he can box too. So that would have been maybe. I don't think it would have been a harder fight personally, but I'm just saying it could have potentially been based on what the tools he had.
It was a plan gone wrong. That's what I would say.
So there you have it, Russ Abner. If you listen, these are his words. They're on the screen. They're not mine. I'm just getting my little thoughts on them because I thought it was interesting. You guys let me know what you think. Let's get to the comments. I'm sure there's a couple interesting comments on this already. You know, let me see. Let me go back to the screen. Okay, so MAW says, who do you and Pops thinks went between Ryan versus Isaac Cruz? I'll let him answer that first.
Oh man, this is a tough fight because Ryan Garcia coming back, but my heart right now, what I feel right now, I'm going with the Pitbull.
You going Pitbull?
Damn right. I'll go with the Pitbull.
Why would you go Pitbull?
I like how he put up a good fight with Tank. I like what he brought Tank. He made Tank say no more. Basically, I don't want no more fight. I don't want a rematch. I think he hurt Tank a lot of times. I think he's a hard puncher. I don't think that Garcia can go in there and use the same rhythm like he does on his punching bag and do this, whatever he does like this. That's not going to work against Pitbull. Pitbull is coming in there. He's already proved it. He's going to come in there, and I just like everything about him. And I think, hey, why not?
Okay, well,
I like Garcia too. Don't get me wrong.
I might regret saying if they actually do fight. I might regret actually saying this, but I think Ryan Garcia will knock Isaac Cruz out.
You out of your fucking.
I'll knock him out.
No.
That little high guard coming on the inside.
Brandon, no,
I'm telling you, you don't know how. Listen,
Pitbull is stocky.
This is gonna sound
firm.
This is gonna sound
strong. No,
this is gonna sound like I'm gonna sound like an extreme casual boxing fan right now. But Ryan, you don't understand how fast Ryan Garcia is. You don't understand the kind of punching power that man has. I've seen that shit in person.
You say what you want. I don't think he has fought.
I don't even think Isaac
like
Cruz.
Pitbull's big, Brendan.
I don't think
he's stocky. He's big, strong.
I don't even think Isaac Cruz punches that hard.
You don't think so?
Nope.
Do you see what he did to Gamboa? You told me when you did.
Gamboa, come on, man.
Listen, man.
Gamboa is halfway from being in a wheelchair. He should not even be boxing. They shouldn't even be sanctioning Gamboa.
I like the Garcia story. He come back and everything. And I like him. I support him. Don't get me wrong. I really do like Ryan Garcia. But in this fight, I've been saying it before. When I was telling you, BT, before this all came out, I was telling you, I said, listen, Ryan Garcia wants to fight Pitbull, but they didn't go through the first time or whatever the case was. Yeah. So I've been wanting this fight, and I'm going to take Pitbull.
If it happens, and that's another story.
Yeah.
Sahi Luke says, Canelo is a bitch. I lost $450 on him. He has no balls and got his butt beat by the Russian guy. He lost a lot of money, man.
Yeah, $400.
That's a nice chunk of change.
Yeah.
And Kevin Effect says, look, Pops, you could have did that to Gamboa. To this version of Gamboa.
Yeah.
You could have did that.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
That's right. Enrique gave me a good reminder that yesterday the Florida Panthers won. It's 2-2 tomorrow. Game 5. So we'll see. Team Mitch. Oh man, listen. When some of the OG viewers come into the channel, we must show proper respect. You know,
right.
We got sponsors, but only Keen can activate the sponsors. So, you know, Keen's here. So we got to activate the unofficial sponsors of True School Sports. True School Sports has been unofficially sponsored by, you know, Big Baby, the former heavyweight contender. He'll let you know. So Big Baby, tell them who our sponsors are.
Vienna sausage, cinnamon buns, Wonder Bread, Kool-Aid with no motherfucking sugar.
Miller, let you guys know how we keep the channel popping and moving. So
that's right.
Here we go. But anyway, all jokes aside, let's get to all the happenings that are going on with Ryan Garcia and Isaac Cruz in WBC. So go to screen share. Shout out to all you guys here. You know, really appreciative to have you guys here. It's always it's a great time. It's a wonderful Tuesday night. So we'll just go. We see there's a lot of places to go to on here, but we'll go right here. So it was reported today that WBC has now ordered Ryan Garcia in an eliminator. Now this is not new for Ryan Garcia. This isn't his first WBC eliminator. His last 2 fights ago, he fought in an eliminator against Luke Campbell. That fight was supposed to be for Devin Haney's WBC. Was it the WBC belt, the regular belt, not the franchise, but the regular one that he holds. He won that fight, and then all of a sudden he was Devin Haney's mandatory, and then all of a sudden he had his problems, and then didn't do anything for a year, and then pulled out of the Fortuna fight. And then he fought Tego. That's what happened. Both parties have until June 14th to make a deal. So there's some time. What's today? May 10th? May 10th?
Yep.
So they got about just over a month to make a deal happen. So we'll see. If nothing happens by June 14th, then it'll go to purse bid. Now, there is a possibility that Al Heyman, if it gets the purse bid, could actually pull Isaac Cruz out of the purse bid.
Don't they have a rift, him and Golden Boy or something like that?
Yes. So be on the lookout for that. But Ryan Garcia, once he got the news, he had a lot to say about what's going to happen. So here's what he said: "I'm so excited. This fight just got ordered by the WBC, so little chance this man escapes from his fate when he enters the ring with me. Let's go, Pitbull. Woof, woof. Time to make this happen. Don't do anything weird. Let's give the fans what they want." Look, I want to see this fight. Yeah, but I'm be honest with you, Pops. I'm very, 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 very doubtful this fight happens. And you know who else is very, very doubtful that this fight happens? Your boy, the Golden Boy, Oscar De La Hoya. So this was Oscar De La Hoya today in LA. I think he was at there was a Zordo Ramirez workout or something like that. I'm not sure where he was, to be honest with you, but Steve can do this interview. So I'm going to play it, and we're going to listen to what Oscar De La Hoya had to say, and then we can go ahead and we can dissect from there. Thank you. Yep. So here we go. Here's Oscar. Here's Oscar on making the Cruz versus Ryan Garcia fight.
Ryan Garcia, Pitbull Cruz, it's a major fight.
Yeah, they ordered it, so it's. I just had a meeting right now.
Can they even hear it?
At the office with Ryan.
I'm gonna check myself.
And because
can y'all hear it?
Wants, and so I was ecstatic to hear that the WBC ordered that fight. So let's make it happen.
What's good? It's good.
Oscar, do you think the other side will want to make a deal, though?
No.
Why not?
Because it's on him. That's the bottom line. He'll do anything to block that fight or not make it happen, but it would be unfair to Cruz because Cruz wants the fight. And now that the WBC ordered it, I think it's a great thing because now there's like nowhere to run, there's nowhere to hide. Not that Cruz is hiding, but now it's an even negotiation, because the rules and regulations. So let's just make the fight.
Do you think they'd even participate in a purse bid, or do you think they would just pull them out?
I sure hope that we go to a purse bid, because then like that, everybody can show their true colors.
There you go. So Oscar De La Hoya, the Golden Boy himself, the former 6th division champion, letting you guys know that if they can't negotiate a fight happening, then he would love it to go to purse bid because if Heyman and Cruz and PBC and all parties involved, Sean Gibbons and all them, if they want to pull out, they'll pull out, and like as he put it, they'll show the true colors. So Pops, what do you make of his statements? What do you think?
I think a lot of it has to do with the rift that they had back. I still feel that way with the sentiments as far as Al Heyman pulling out. He's going to pull out. He could care less about really Pitbull's interest. He's pulling out because De La Hoya's got to deal with.
It's a personal thing. It's a personal thing. Yeah. So listen, I'm gonna first of all let me give a shout out to one of the OG YouTube channels on here that I really respect. T Street Controversy. I agree exactly what he has to say about this. So he said it's gonna end up being Ryan Garcia versus Zaur Abdullayev. He says one of them is gonna wind up fighting Zaur Abdullayev. Watch, not Garcia versus Cruz because of some network broadcast shit that nobody gives a fuck about. You know, and that's what it is.
He called it. T-Street called it right away. Shout out to T-Street.
It's gonna be some network politics. Yeah. They're gonna say, "Oh well, they didn't want the like." I can already see Steven Espinoza looking into the camera and saying, "Well, you know, they didn't want the fight. They didn't want the fight because, you know, Showtime Boxing's bringing premium boxing to cable. Fuck you. Like we already know what's gonna happen. But I already know what's. I hope. Listen, I want to be optimistic. I want to see this fight because I think it would answer a lot of questions about both Ryan Garcia and Isaac Cruz. But I can already see the interviews on Fight Hype and Fight Hub and all these different boxing platforms from Espinoza and all them guys.
But to be fair,
Sean Gibbons.
But to be fair, let's say hypothetically that happens, then how good is the next opponent as Azor Abdullah?
If Zaro Abdullah, I mean Zaro Abdullah is all right. He fought. He gets knocked out Linares his last fight.
Linares is old. That's old.
He retired.
Done.
He retired Linares.
So
he also fought Haney a couple years ago and lost.
Okay, so
that's really all I know about him.
Okay, so you're saying you rather see Isaac Cruz against Garcia than seeing Abdullah. No disrespect, Abdullah.
Yeah,
Garcia.
Yeah, make that fight happen. You know, I think boxing should start getting to a point like, let's just be real. I know Al Heyman supposedly he has money, right? But there's just no way in hell that PBC is making money. Like, I go to a lot of PBC fights and much love the PBC. They treat me well, but you know, there's a lot of the tickets that a lot of people that you guys see on TV that are sitting in the crowd for PBC fights. Those are comp tickets. Those are tickets that are given out to people. And you can normally look. I give you guys a tip if you're not from America. If you come to America and you go to PBC show, don't buy a ticket when you go. Go out. Just wait before the fight start. You'll find someone who will give you a free ticket if you start talking to the right people. You know, you got to do some talking and you'll find someone. But like they're not making substantial money, right? PBC. There's no way because they don't really have sponsorships like that. They don't really have, like how are they really making money?
The network, they're not making money from the network.
They're not I want boxing to succeed. So my thing is this, right? PBC is not running their company like a legitimate business. And my thing is like you got to at some point, like with the money that Al has lost, I think that's gonna have to force his hand to make some legitimate fights. And what better way to make a legitimate fight than to start working with Golden Boy and, you know, rekindle that relationship with Oscar and make the Cruz fight. Get in the Ryan Garcia business, you know, because then if you start putting your guys in Ryan Garcia, that's going to bring more visibility to your fighters.
At some point, all these promoters, even in the low level, local levels and everything, they all need to understand that if they learn to work with each other, it's only going to be a better pie for the whole boxing community as a whole. But in the real world, we know that doesn't happen. Instead of them wanting to work with each other, they're trying to cut each other's neck off.
Because like my good buddy Stacey McKinley says, working together works. You know, working together works. So I hope it happens, man, because it's a really good fight. And we'll get some more on like the technical side of the fight and things like that. But Dan Rafael also said himself that apparently he just spoke to Ryan Garcia about it, and he says that he's hoping that it could be in LA at the Staples Center, which would be a big fight because Pitbull just fought the fight before Gamboa against Tank Davis at the Staples Center. It sold very well. He became a big name, a household name. And when you take a guy like that and put him up against a guy who's like Ryan Garcia at the Staples Center, I think you're looking at a very, very explosive event. So my best wishes are with Oscar De La Hoya and PBC and Al Heyman and Sean Gibbons and all parties involved on that side to just come together and just do the right thing. Like do the right thing by the lightweight division, do the right thing for the fans. And you know what? That's a fight that I would actually want to go into. I like that fight.
And Al Heyman being supposedly a Harvard graduate, Yale graduate, whatever the fuck graduate he's from, he should have enough common sense. But sometimes I've seen people that graduated from these schools that don't have no fucking common sense. But Al Heyman, make the fight happen. You need the money. The company needs the money. What better way to start this way?
What do they say, Pops? They say you're sometimes you're so smart that you're stupid.
Yeah, you're so smart, so stupid. You can be book smart, but you're damn stupid, speech smart. So in other words, you can't reason with logical, because logical on the outside, you don't know how to deal with that.
No.
And I'll say it again, Al Heyman, you never see the motherfucker. You never see Al Heyman anyways. He's always in the background. You don't know what he's like. Nobody knows what he's like. But damn it, if not for your case, you're a Harvard graduate. Use your sense. Use some type of thing. Go to the computer. Go on the program. Go load up something to make this fight happen.
Absolutely. So hopefully it happens. I saw a tweet by Dan Canobio, whatever his name is. I can't get his last name right all the time. He does good work for like Combi Box and on his little on his podcast. I enjoy the things that he puts out there. But he had a tweet on Twitter that said Ryan Garcia pulled in a 1.3 million gate versus an unknown in Emmanuel Tego. Tank Davis is about to sell out another arena this month. Davis versus Garcia will be a massive event. It needs to happen. And I agree with Dan, and I think the Cruz fight. If Bryan can fight Cruz in the Staples Center, he does what he needs to do. Tank fights Rolly this month. He does what he needs to do. He wins this fight after that. I don't see why these two shouldn't fight in the summer of 2023. I actually think some of you guys may crucify me for this because we live in this little small bubble of the YouTube box community, but I think commercially Ryan Garcia versus Tank Davis is a much bigger fight than Carver versus Spence. It would somewhat take it to make more money because you have two extremely different fan bases, but they have a lot of that fan base. Like Tank has a lot of the urban crowd. Ryan has a lot of the newer generation and the younger crowd, the social media crowd. I really think that if we're talking about any fight between two American fighters, that's the biggest one there is as far as like ticket sales and the gates and things like that.
And it's a win-win for the whole thing, for the whole that show when it does happen. That would be great for boxing itself. My second question to that would be leading to that. Where is Davis with the Mayweather?
Oh, he's gonna be with them. He'll be with them.
He's not. Nobody knows. He resigned, just signed, stay with them. Nobody really knows, right?
He's gonna stay with them.
He's gonna stay with them.
He's gonna stay with them. Okay. My thing is this, right? Like Mayweather Promotions, like they have Floyd money, Mayweather and LOB, they love money, right? Mm-hmm. This fight would make them a lot of money. Like I don't. It's not even a question.
Yeah.
Lee's doing 1.3 million at the gate against Tego, fucking Tego. So if you get Tank in there and you bring together what they both bring to the sport and you pair it together in the ring of the night, you'll get a really good fight because you got Tank who's a shorter, stockier, really destructive, explosive puncher, and then you got Ryan who's a little bit taller and lankier, but he has a left hook from hell. He hits you with the left hook, you going to sleep. Yeah. So I'd love to see that fight at some point. But we can't even get to that point if we can't make fights like Cruz versus Davis or Cruz versus Ryan Garcia happen. So that's what I'm saying. That's why I even had this tweet in here. So that's really what it is. And I'll get to Zordo Ramirez in a second because he's fighting this weekend. Mm-hmm. The light heavyweight division on absolute fire right now. But let me get to some comments. Shout out to everyone who's here with me. Let me see. Oh, we got Usam from Montreal. He always has funny comments. He says, breaking news, Ryan Garcia is changing his sex and retiring from men's boxing competitions to become the number one pound for pound female fighter. Nah, he would still lose. Senicia Estrada would still get him. She would still get him, champ. She would still get him if he did that. Cooley McDonald says, Lion needs some of the eyeliner and a memory foam pillow for his depression from losing Instagram followers. Okay, I'm done hating. Yeah. Call Al. Make sure you tell Oscar to call Al.
That's right. Call the real Al in Australia.
Yeah. Koopy says Pop has always turned up. He is. Listen, he is. I don't know.
Yeah,
he's in his 50s. He still maintains great energy. He had a heart attack last year. It hasn't stopped him from living it up. So
trying to calm down, but that's kind of hard.
Yeah.
Shout out to you, man.
He says, what is next for Canelo since he took an L? I mean, listen, one thing about Canelo is he has no shortage of options. Obviously, the option they're going to explore first is going to be the Bivol rematch, which would be a very big fight, especially now. But I don't think that would be the best for him. If he wanted to really give himself the best chance to win, I think he should go to 68. And honestly, look, go to England. Go to England. Do that England fight you were talking about. Fight John Ryder, which I think will be a tough fight, but fight John Ryder. Fight, the winner of Richard Dubois. Go do that if you want to do that. Or I don't know. I think, look, when you're like Canelo and you had this aura of invincibility for like the last 10 years and you lose in such dominant fashion, it could be one of those things where it's like you're stripped of that aura of invincibility, and now every opponent isn't really oohed and awed anymore because he had that for a while. A lot of these guys would go in the ring and they were just oohed and awed by the light shows and the fan base and the glitz and the glam. And so I don't really have a legitimate answer because if he goes to 68, you're looking at maybe fights against Andrade, fights against David Morrell Jr., fights against Dave Benavidez. Those are the 5 people are going to pressure him to make. Charlo as well. So, does he want to take those fights? We'll see. We'll see.
Reality, the fact that the reality is something with Canelo, and he's got to understand now that whoever he fights knows that what Bivol did to him and what possibly they can do to him also.
Yeah. Exposed. Ryan is the face of garbage cans.
Exactly how much.
Listen, I think Ryan's one of those guys. I feel like he's the wild card at 135. There's a lot of reasons to crack on the kid. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, he's a little corny at times, but you know what? When I went to his media workout in San Diego, it's one thing to see these Instagram videos online where he's hitting the speed bag and all this stuff. But when you see this shit in person, it's just a little different, and you get a real sense of the natural talent this kid has. So I think it's like if he could ever just mature and really put it all together, he could actually be the best fighter in this division.
And you really get to feel him when you're there. You're not just getting to see what you see on TV, on YouTube. You see who he is, and you get a really good feel for him. What I really like about Garcia, and I'm really frank about this, fuck Reynoso, and he was the one that made me even like him, Garcia, even more when he said he didn't show up for the fucking Frank Sanchez fight until the night of the fight. So that he told me a lot of things, and that whole video.
Wait, Reynoso didn't come into the Frank Sanchez fight the night of the fight?
Yeah. Oh, Garcia came out and said that on one of the videos on YouTube. He actually came out and said that him and Canelo going back and forth.
Yeah.
And that's when he said, "Well, this is why I have to leave Canelo." Even though they made up and said, because how can you say Reynoso when Reynoso and he's always with Canelo, always there, but he can't even show up for a fight with a fighter until the night of the fight. So for me, Garcia, what everybody else is about, I don't care. I love you for that. Fuck Reynoso.
Damn. Carl Hansen says, I want to see Garcia asleep on the canvas with that canvas print stuck on his forehead. Well, look, if Ryan wins whatever his next fight's going to be, and George can get through a couple of fights, or maybe if George just beats Devin Haney so badly the first fight, they don't even do the second fight. If a scenario like that can play out, then you might get a chance to see George ferocious Kambosos have a chance to knock him out. Massive, yeah. An absolute star of sport. Anyway, we got our first super chat. Hey, we got our first super chat from Carl. Shout out to Carl. You guys know the drill. When the super chats come out, so does Don King. So Don King, talk to him.
Hey everybody, let's have some fun. You don't live but once, and when you're dead, you're done. So let the good times roll. It don't matter whether you're young or old. Let the good times roll.
There you have it. Let the good times roll. We will here on True School Sports. Carl says, salute to my favorite YouTube fan. Yeah, salute to you, Carl, out there in Australia. Shout out to all my Aussies who definitely support the channel. Always good to see you guys.
Thank you, Carl.
MAW says, great point, BT. Shout out to MAW. Flyboy says, 2023, nobody this year. Yeah, no, Ryan's not going to – Ryan won't fight Tank or anything like that this year. That'll be like 2023, if that. My man, I don't want to butcher your name, but Jiho or Hiho, or how you say your name? He says Davis Garcia could be bigger, but so far Spence has brought in more pay-per-view buys, fought in bigger venues than Tank. So we'll have to see. That fight would do amazing business, though, no doubt. Yeah, I really think that they would sell more tickets than Crawford and Spence. Truthfully,
and we still cannot forget about in the whole shuffle, even though Kambosos, Devin Haney, whatever comes out, whatever the fight's going to be. He can also be thrown into the whole mix too. Yeah.
Carl says Tank is a great fighter with the worst resume. Yeah, listen, I like Tank. I'm a huge fan of his. I saw Tank fight twice in person. I saw Tank once in person when he was a prospect. He came and fought in South Florida on the Mickey Bay Rancis Bartholomew undercard. He fought some guy and knocked him out around. And then I was there when he knocked out Leo Santa Cruz, and that was crazy to be at. Crazy. But yeah, I mean, at some point, I'd like to see Tank start fighting some better people. But all you can do in boxing is beat the guys they put in front of you. Right now, that guy is Willie Ramirez. So take care of that first before we talk about anything else.
That's not going to be easy fight.
Hey, Susem says, did you watch the video today? Did De La Hoya pointing out Canelo mistakes? I did not, but I will put that on my list, and I'll definitely make a video about that because that sounds very, 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 very interesting.
De La Hoya make it Canelo mistakes?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, a lot of his opponents, like they were oohed and awed by the lights, and they disrespected him a bit too much. So now that, like I said, now that he lost to Bivol in the fashion that he did, now you're looking at Canelo being I think in more competitive fights, a lot more often. Southpaw, shout out to Southpaw.
What's going on,
773. Some people like him, some people hate him, but they watch him. Make sure you go and subscribe to Southpaw. He says, I pray Canelo keeps losing.
Hey, but at least your prayers was answered this Saturday.
Yeah.
This past Saturday.
Let me see, but I saw another comment.
About who?
I don't know. MB20 says if Canelo vacates when David comes back knocking, it's a wrap. The WBC tried to keep David away with Lemieux, and the W did it with Andrade. Yeah, they did. But look, I think at some point, look, if you take another loss, even the sanctioning body is gonna be like, you know what, the train has come to the end of the stop, and we're gonna start treating you like the other guys.
What's funny about the whole thing, BT been telling me for months, there's gonna be a point when all this is gonna end. Remember, we were talking about he said, Pops, there's gonna be a time, I don't know when, this train gonna stop.
It's gonna stop.
At some point, everybody get that chance.
Mike Tyson's train ended at some point. Like almost every fighter, but like maybe like a Floyd, you know, Floyd's train still. Floyd fighting this weekend. He's fighting Don Moore. Yeah, he's still fighting. But
but the thing is, I think the thing about the aura that Canelo brought out in the public and how he thought that, and I'll be honest, he thought his shit didn't stink. Well, guess what? It stunk.
Tell me how you really feel.
It stunk real bad this past Saturday, and it's stinking more right now.
There you go. Jesus asks, BT, will you be live Thursday for the card in the zone card in Indio, California? I keep hearing about that damn card. Who the hell is fighting on that? What is the main event to that card? Jesus, and please, either Jesus or somebody else. Let me know who is the main event on Thursday, because I do know I have a friend. There's a local fighter here, young kid by the name of Eric Tudor, who's trained by a good friend of ours, and Derek Santos. He's supposedly fighting on that card, but I don't know who the hell the main event is. I know it's promoting. It's Golden Boy Show. It's in Indio, California. It's gonna be on the zone. I think. I hope Eric gets on TV, because this kid Eric Tudor, man, really good fighter. You know, we talk about the fighters coming out of South Florida. Like we got Teofimo Lopez, who's from here. He trained in the amateur. He learned how to box here. You know, Xander Zayas, same thing. We got Aaron Aponte, who's a prospect right now, who's 5-0. We got Lorenzo Medina, who just turned pro. Like South Florida making some noise.
I was like that prospect from Puerto Rico, from Lawrence, Massachusetts. There's also
Josianel Castro.
Yeah, that guy right there. You all better watch out for. He's got a fight coming up again. I really like him a lot. Shout out to Derek Santos. Respect him and respect.
Okay. So Jesus M is saying that Victor Morales is the main event. Well, Victor Morales had that fight against what's the guy? Rudy Garcia, and he got a draw. He was a heavy favorite. He got a draw in that fight, and I remember that was the fight where he got a draw and proposed to his girl. And never seen a guy propose after a draw. I've always seen guys propose after wins, but never after a draw. So that was.
I mean, you say Shakur do it. He won.
No, but he won. I'm saying guys getting a draw and then propose to that's you can't. For me personally, if you're gonna propose to your girl, you gotta win. You can't lose. You can't lose.
He did. He won a paycheck that he's gonna give to his girl and spend the money on that.
Oh God.
Ray, Puerto Rico. Yes, sir. I've seen that.
Usam says.
Ray.
Usam says. Fuck Ray knows. So Sugar Hill Stewart is the trainer of the year. Hey, right now, it's Sugar Hill Stewart right now or Wally Moses. Wally Moses or Sugar Hill. That's the trainer. You know who Wally Moses is? He's Shakur Stevens' trainer. He's I like his. It's either Sugar Hill. It's either Sugar Hill, Wally Moses, or Marcos Caballero, who trains Chuck Latino. That right now for me, it's them three, or Joel Diaz. I mean, I guess right, because Joel Diaz or whoever trains Bivol. Whoever trains Bivol. Those are the candidates. Those are the candidates for trainer of the year thus far. Marshall Ministry says he wants a World Boxing Super Series for the 135 division. It's wishful thinking, but it would be an easy way to clean up that mess. Wouldn't happen because that would never happen because, for one, the World Boxing Super Series is having a hard enough time getting started back up. Number two, the World Boxing Super Series has no television rights in the USA. Number three, all those guys would want too much money. So that would never happen. But in a perfect world, yes. Yeah.
Sullivan's don't have that nowhere?
The World Boxing Super Series has no television rights in the USA.
How is that?
Because they're all European promoters. Everybody who's involved with the WB, that's why a lot of the fighters that are in the World Boxing Series are European fighters. Wow. It's rare, like maybe like Rob Brandt was in the World Boxing Series.
But this guy right here, excuse me how I say it, Mong Fang or Fang Long, is supposed to be in some kind of tournament.
Huh?
Fang Long
that's Pro Box. That's not.
It's a Pro Box.
That's a whole different thing.
Okay.
So apparently, where is it? Where did I see that damn comment at? It was Angel Costa as the main event. So okay, all right. And Steve, hey, shout out to my main man Steven Rodriguez, one of the local coaches here in South Florida. You know, molding and shaping the future stars of tomorrow in boxing. You know, boxing in the daytime, plumbing at nighttime. Get that money, champ. He says, shout out to Tudor. He's a killer. Him and my boy Andrew Lawson got countless rounds together. Yeah, another one. Another young fighter from South Florida who will be making waves in the future. Andrew Lawson.
You seen the fight?
Yeah, Luis Melendez.
Chucho!
Dominique Francis.
Puerto Rico!
Yeah. So it's a good time boxing. You know, hold on. We got so many comments. I don't even know where to begin. Okay, so we got Bush Beer Box Community. Shout out to him. He says Prograis versus Josh Taylor was a part of the tournament, though. It was a part of the tournament. But Prograis promotional contract is, he's with DeBella, but DeBella doesn't really have any ties to a network per se. So anybody who signed to Lou DeBella can move as they see fit because there's no direct tie to a network.
Isn't he with Pro Bellum?
Now he is, but I'm saying before, at the time he fought Taylor, he wasn't.
Okay, yeah,
he wasn't. There was no
I'll tell you
Probellum.
what, I don't even know about the ties with them. What Probellum, what's gonna happen with them, anyways? Because I know they canceled a lot of fights with that crazy that a month ago.
Yeah, so
anyways,
is what it is. But I wanted to talk about as well, going back to the Canelo side of things, and we'll definitely talk some more about Ryan Garcia and Isaac Cruz. Wait, hold on. Let's stay there for a second. So you really think Isaac Cruz going? Like, you think he would knock out Ryan Garcia?
Listen.
Why? Why do you think he knocks out Ryan Garcia?
What was my comment before? If you didn't listen to the first time, I love you, my son. The point I was saying is, a motherfucking Tank Davis, who's supposed to be a real dog, the dog to the 130, 135, and he fought him. And as soon as he fought him, they asked him, "Do you want a rematch?" And he said, "Hell no." That tells me that Pitbull was throwing some punches like a motherfucking, like a Pitbull. He biting like a Pitbull, and he's just on top. Because Tank come from Baltimore. Baltimore ain't no easy street. But for Tank to sit back, for me it does. Because it shows me that Pitbull hurt him. Shows me that Pitbull hurt him to a point that he doesn't want to get his ass whooped again. All
right. Well, I'm gonna tell you guys what I tell them all the time. It has fuck all to do where you're at. Like where you're from has fuck all to do with boxing.
You always say that, but what I'm saying,
let me finish. These New York fighters, most of these New York fighters run their mouths about how they're from New York and how it's tough. They get knocked the fuck out.
Okay, all I'm saying is Tank is one of, regardless if he's from Baltimore, where he's from World Disney, where he's from Planet Pluto, where he's from. The bottom line, he's one of the top contenders in the weight class. Everybody knows it. He just hasn't fought to the level, so he's supposed to fight. He's a very talented fighter with a lot of power, with a lot of everything. When I see a fighter after a fight and somebody asks him, as tough as he is, he didn't want none from Pitbull Cruz for the second time. It's telling me something about Pitbull Cruz. He's not going to fall down.
Or maybe it's telling you more about Tank than you think. Maybe it's telling you that Tank might not be as durable as you think.
Exactly. Again, that's also going to go backtrack to what I said about Pitbull. Pitbull showed something on him that he couldn't take. It wasn't about his durability. It was about this motherfucker here. Bah, bah, I heard him.
Look.
And I'll say I like Ryan Garcia. I like his story and everything. He's tall, he's quick, and he does his fucking same thing like this. When he gets with that Pitbull, you know what's gonna happen? Toma, puñeta, toma.
Well, listen. Styles make fights. Tank's a shorter, stockier guy, just like Pitbull's a shorter, stockier guy. Ryan ain't like that.
Okay, let me ask you.
Ryan's a taller guy, got range,
let me ask you a question.
How to blend his hook.
Okay, give me the straight answer. Who's the better fighter?
Ryan Garcia, hands down.
For Tank Davis and Garcia.
Who's the better fighter?
Yeah,
I don't know that one.
What do you mean you don't know?
I don't know. They have to fight each other. I don't know.
Okay. Hypothetically, what would you say based on what you've seen from both fighters? Who do you think is a better fighter?
I think Tank right now is a better fighter, but I think, but I think Ryan Garcia's ceiling is higher. I think like if Ryan put it together.
Oh, you're talking about popularity, right? Or skills?
No, it's skills. It's like it's talent. If Ryan actually stops being soft and puts it together, it's a wrap for everyone.
Okay.
At 35. The only one that can beat. Look, I only like Ryan like that. I can't stand Ryan Garcia. I hope someone knock him senseless. Mm-hmm. But if he were to actually put all that talent he has together, with especially at 35, with the size and the frame and the power and the speed that he has, he could run this division.
Yeah, that's what what's his name?
But that's a huge if. That's a huge if.
Lucien said that, but my point is, when I heard Tank say that, it showed me that there's a reason why he won't have a rematch with Pitbull, because Pitbull hurt him. Serious as that.
Okay.
That's real talk.
Okay, so Let me see. Southpaw said he didn't say hell no because of that. He said it's not true. Yeah, Southpaw said he not true.
Well, did you see that? Southpaw, I love you, Go look at the last inning. No, he didn't say hell no, but he definitely didn't say yes. He definitely didn't say yes. He said no. Real quick, he said no. You know why? Because he got hurt, Southpaw. That's why.
Yeah, so we'll see.
I mean, we can go back and forth. I'm just saying.
It'd be a good fight though. But yeah, listen, we can talk about this fight till it's blue in the face. I just hope it gets made. I don't even think it's gonna happen because of the politics and TBC and normal stuff in boxing. So I think Ryan will probably fight, like T Street said, Zaul Adelaide.
So where would Tank go after he fights Rolly? What's up for him then?
I don't know. He just has to make sure he wins his fight.
Yeah.
Like all you can do in boxing is just win who they put in front of you.
Yeah.
So that's what it is. But look, I wanted to kind of pivot back to Bivol because Bivol, I like Bivol a lot. Before any of this stuff happened with Canelo, the fight that I really wanted to see the most in boxing, and I had the video from December. The fight that I really wanted to see the most in boxing was Bivol versus Zordo Ramirez. I thought that would have been a great fight because Zordo is one of those old school, like, seek and destroy Mexicans, but he does it like in a very, very intelligent way. Southpaw, big, can punch with both hands. Very, very, very dangerous fighter. I think he's underrated. He's got his fight this weekend with the guy Dominic Bozell, which really is a stay busy fight just to keep him active. Yeah. He wins that fight. He's already Bivol's mandatory, so if he wins that fight, he maintains that WBA mandatory position that he earned. He
always wanted that fight, right?
He earned WBA that WBA mandatory status back in December when he beat Uniesi Gonzalez in a really good fight. So my thing is this: Zordo was talking to Steve Kim today about fighting Bivol, and I want you guys to hear what he said.
Steve
Kim's a reporter, okay? But he was talking to a reporter, Steve Kim, about fighting Bivol because he's a WBA mandatory, and I kind of want to let you guys hear what he had to say. So here's Zordo.
If you win on Saturday as expected, is it clear that you want Dimitri Bivol next?
I'm going to win, and of course people want to see that fight, and I want to give the fans they deserve it.
Gilbert, were you surprised by the dominance of Bivol?
I was surprised. I thought it up. And honestly, I was a little sad because Canelo he lost, and at the end of the day, we're Mexican, we support each other, and I was very surprised.
So would you say though that you're a real light heavyweight though? You're a lot taller, a lot longer. It'd be a tough fight for Dimitri.
Yeah, but people know about that fight, and Dimitri knows that I'm bigger than him, and that's why maybe he won 68. Fight Canelo, I mean, it's a great opportunity for Bivol to make that fight, but I think he can beat Canelo again.
Gilbert, final question for me. You've been with Julian Schul for about 5 fights. What's that been like?
And then they talk about him and his trainer that they've been being together and whatnot. But yeah, like,
do you consider him the sleeper of the weight class?
He's been the sleeper of the weight class. Look, people can say what they want. They say, "Oh, well, Zordo hasn't fought anybody," which it's not even true. Like, before Canelo was even close to being a super middleweight, this guy was the first ever Mexican super middleweight champion ever? In the whole history of the sport. Zordo was the first Mexican super middleweight champion in the entire sport.
Before Canelo?
Before Canelo. When he was on Top Rank and he beat Arthur Abraham to win the WBO title, he was the first Mexican super middleweight champion. So you
were saying basically when Canelo was on a come up, this guy was already making
he was already a champion at this weight class.
Okay.
He hasn't really had the fights that people want to see him in. According to Marshall Ministry, he said Bivol's team offered the fight back in 2019, and Zordo's wife and team turned it down. I've heard multiple things. I've heard that. I've heard Zordo say that Bivol didn't want the fight, and I've heard people in the Golden Boy stable say he didn't want the fight. Normally the truth is always somewhere in the middle. Like normally it's never one side of that.
So say it's a bunch of hogash. What is it called?
Yeah, I wanted that Bivol. I mean, I really just started wanting that Zordo and Bivol fight like recently. But like Marshall, it's been a fight that's been there for years. Like it's been there for years.
So it's been brewing, it just never has to happen yet. So I don't know if it's gonna happen after they fight this gumball machine fighter. No disrespect to him. I mean, because that's what people are gonna look at. Like who's he fought?
Zordo?
I know who's he fought, but I'm saying they're gonna say, oh, well, he fought this gumball machine fighter. No disrespect.
Listen, man, look. I'm tired of people discrediting fighters' resumes just because they don't know enough about boxing. The reality is this: Zordo hasn't fought the greatest fighters in the world. I'm not going to sit here and act like he has, but Zordo has fought 43 times. In all 43 times he fought, he went out there, he did his job.
Right.
We've seen many times. There's been plenty of times where a guy that is viewed highly of and thought highly of, he was put in there with a guy that nobody knew who he was, or they thought was shit. And they got and they wound up losing. So he's shown that consistency over time, over 2 weight classes, and he's still one of the top light heavyweights out there. I mean, and as far as resumes are concerned, let me tell you guys this. There was a fighter by the name of Salvador Sanchez. You know, the guy that I've been saying is the greatest Mexican fighter.
Check out the video on
of all time. When Salvador Sanchez first fought the great Danny
Lopez.
Little Red Lopez, okay, when he first fought him, he hadn't fought like in a big fight yet. He hadn't fought quote unquote anybody. When the matchmaker made the fight, apparently they said Salvador who, and then they found out Salvador who real quickly when he fought Danny Lopez, when he was beating the shit out of him like nobody beat the shit out of Danny Lopez.
Twice, right?
In the first fight for like the first 5 to 6 rounds. Salvador would go on to become an all-time great in the sport. So you can't always say, oh, who is that guy? Because you never know who that guy might be.
That's what the matchmakers say. That's the same thing about how we were saying about how Canelo and Reynoso didn't really think that highly. They knew he was there, but they didn't think that highly of him. And they thought the greater possibility.
He was handpicked. Yeah. He was handpicked. He's always had that talent. He's always had that skill level. He's always been a really great talent. But
do you blame it on the media? Do you blame it on the promotional company for not exposing, promoting? Let me clear the white word. Promoting Zordo better than what they have for him to get the fights that he needs to get, even though he continues winning. Or it's a little bit of both, or everything.
Just both.
Well, if he's been golden boy, that's big. Well, that's one big reason right there. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah, Marlon said, I'm surprised Zordo isn't a star in the sport. He has the tools to be one. He has a tool. Like, he's Mexican. He gets knockouts. Like, it shouldn't be that hard to make the guy a star.
Strong.
He's been champion in 2 weight classes. Like, how hard is that to promote?
Yeah.
Where does Canelo rank at 175? Well, he's trying to fight at 168 again. So, as far as I'm concerned, he don't rank. He's trying to fight Bivol at 175. This is the same guy in Canelo, right? This is the same guy that said, oh, I can adapt to any style. I can do this. I can do that. And once he got his ass waxed by Bivol, he want to go out back down to 168. And he, like, I'm not trying to be a dick, but like, give me a time, guys, where a guy that was like in Canelo's position got their ass whipped in a fight, and then in the rematch they said they want to go back. They want to fight the same guy, but because they lost, they want to fight in the weight class just below. When did that ever happen?
Listen, man.
Recently,
I'm gonna say it again. Canelo's doing a lot of soul searching, but he came down to earth on Saturday night. And a lot of people, like BT said earlier in this live, people thought that he was invincible, that he couldn't get beat. The train was going so far, but all handpicked whatever he had, opponents he had, but he just ran into the wrong super train from Russia.
And that's just what it is. Kevin Effect says Oscar wants Zordo to get to 50-0. He might want him to do that. I know Zordo's mentioned that in the past. We'll see. I think at some point they're gonna want a big fight. Whether they get to 50-0 or not, who cares? Like, you know, Zordo needs to be in those big fights, and hopefully once we get a clear answer on what happens with the Canelo rematch, you know, then Bivol can fight the winner of Smith and Beterbiev, and then they can fight Bivol, and then after that, Bivol can fight Zordo.
And the reality is, I'm quite sure that Zordo just want to continue fighting these fights that he's going to make this certain sum of money. Eventually, he wants to hit that gold mine and make some money. You know what I mean? So they're going to have to put him up there, and Goldwing's going to have to make that move sooner or later.
Kev says, Bivol showed the world why Canelo hates those boring fighters. Those boring fighters are MF.
Yeah, horrible fighters.
Horrible fighters. Usam makes a great point. He says, resumes don't mean shit.
Right.
When trainers start training camp, they don't log into the box rec. They go watch film and analyze fighter style and figure out a game plan how to beat the opponent. Usam then went on to say, when I hear someone's prediction on a fight and he starts mentioning resumes, I check out. Yeah, they start. I remember one time when I was in Texas to watch Charlo versus Calia fight, I was talking to this kid, and the main event that night was Ryan Garcia versus Jesse Vargas, and I asked this kid, I was like, hey, who do you think's gonna win? It's like a little 13-year-old kid, and he was like, Ryan Garcia, and I said, why picking Ryan Garcia? Because he's got 4 divisions, and he's got 4 division championships, and Jesse Vargas only has 1 division championship, so Ryan gonna win. Might be one, but like that's not how you should.
Osam, would you feel in BTU too? Would it be better? Would you guys also go and that statement also found when you compare amateur fights with a fighter, and before they fight a big fight or they fight a good opponent, say, oh, well, he had all these 100,000 amateur fights, so he's going to beat this guy because he fought these many fights.
Say that again. Sorry.
Would you just the same statement that Usam was saying about not looking at the resume, because the resume really don't mean nothing until you get in the ring and fight the fighter? Would that also apply when you say, oh, well, this fighter fought had like 900 amateur fights and this and that? And when you hear people say, oh, he had this many fights, amateur fights, and this and that, would you use that in the same statement as that?
I'm gonna simplify it like this. When I was in elementary school, there was this kid named Joel Velez, and the irony of it was he was the son of Ada Velez, who was the first Puerto Rican women's world champion. We went to the same school. And I remember this guy used to beat the shit out of everyone, right? Everyone was scared of this kid. Everyone was scared of this kid, Joel. And there was one day where me and him had a big problem on the playground playing football. And I stood up to him. And, you know, he went on this whole long rant about how other people he beat up, and I didn't care about that because who cared? I didn't give a fuck about who he beat up because it wasn't me.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing with boxing. You could beat the whole world, but if you haven't fought that one person, you know, you don't really know for sure until they get in the ring. Okay. So hope that analogy was clear enough for everybody out there. Now, Kubi McDonald says, do you guys remember the other week when I said Valdez throws those big flat-footed Mexican haymakers? Pay my respect.
That's right. That's right. You called it, brother.
You called it. I thought if the fight went pretty much how I thought it would go. Valdez will never be a main card fighter again. He's gone. Yeah, I think so. I wouldn't be surprised if Eddie Reynoso get rid of him soon. Straight up. Well,
I mean, he got it pounded from Shakur for sure.
Huh?
His face looks like a strawberry to me.
Who, Valdez?
Yeah.
Now, Usam says, I would say sparring great boxers is better experience than having amateur fights. He then also says, Bivol approved resumes don't mean shit. They don't. They absolutely don't. You know, at the end of the day, it's all about going in there and you'll see.
So it's the same thing what we're saying about sparring. Sparring, you sharpen your tools and you get better at your craft before you have the actual fight with your opponent. But sometimes you hear that, do you see all the sparring over here? Do you see this guy knock out this guy in sparring? Do you see what this guy did? He's a great sparring. But does he do it when the light's on? Yeah,
well, no, he's just saying like when.
Yeah, I know.
The sparring that you get coming up as a young fighter is better for your development than like you know, your amateur fight sometimes. Carl says Eddie Reynoso should teach the fundamentals of boxing like learning how to jab. That's not in the program. High guard, bend your knees, dip. Throw the hook. That's the Eddie Reynoso program.
Being honest, Martinez fought that way, right?
Yeah, I'll fight that way. All of them.
Don't want to throw
the only one that fights differently in the Reynoso camp is Frank Sanchez, and that's because he's a heavyweight. He has to fight differently.
Yeah. Wow. So Carl, I'm with you on that.
It might be crazy to say. They might not like it. But when the smoke clears, Frank Sanchez might be the best fighter in the Reynoso camp.
Because he threw that jab.
Frank, he's the only one.
Shout out to that Cuban boxer.
Listen, he's the only one. He's actually the only Eddie Reynoso fighter who I've never seen on Instagram. You know how Eddie Reynoso has that big ass little target thing that he holds, where he goes like this, and then the fighter the fighter will be like this in the high guard, and then he dips, and then he kind of goes like that, and then they come to the right, and then they throw a hook. He's the only one from that gym I've never seen do that, and so far he's the only one who's won his fight this year. So who knows, man? Who knows?
Yeah. So basically, you're saying that if you go on there and also there will not be any fighting
like
the jab. The jab is
not
a basic punch you learn in preschool. But that way,
the jab is going to be
one of the most important fundamentals that you need.
The jab isn't going to be the highest of priorities. The most important thing as a Reynoso fighter is high guard, dip, hook. That's the most important thing.
I think they'll try to change it around, but it's not going to work if you don't throw a jab. This man knows.
Boxing Gems knows. Shout out to Boxing Gems. Make sure you guys go subscribe to him.
Yeah.
Because, what up, BT? What up, Pops? What up, Chad?
God bless you, Boxing Gem.
We're good.
We were just talking about Reynoso teaching all his fighters not to throw that jab. I know you know because you're the greatest teacher out there, and you all better tune into his channel if you want to learn about boxing, if you want to learn about feints, if you want to learn about parry, if you want to learn about cross jabs, any kind of jab, anything, any terms, go to Boxing Jams about the jab, how important it is. Yeah.
Marlins asks, what's next for Shakur? I wanted the undisputed route for him, but Bob said no to that. Well, I personally, I don't think the politics of boxing will allow that to happen because all the other two champions are Roger Gutierrez, who's a Golden Boy fighter, and the other champion is Kenichi Ogawa, who is with Matchroom. So Ogawa's fighting Joe Cordina. That's actually going to be a really good. I'm really excited for that one. Seeing the Welsh Wizard fight someone like Ogawa, that's going to be a good one. But I don't think he'll fight for Undisputed at 130. I'm not even sure what is there left for him to do at 130 because the guys at 30 that he could most realistically fight, they're not really on the top rank umbrella. Maybe if they want to bring up like a Manuel Navarrete to 130, and we can finally get that fight. You know, remember that matchup you used to argue about?
Which one was it?
You used to say Navarrete would beat Shakur Stevenson. Now, that was 2 fights ago. How do you feel now about Navarrete versus Stevenson? Now that you've seen Shakur Stevenson beat the shit out of Herring and Valdez back to back.
I'm a big fan of Navarrete. I know you're not asking me that.
When I'm not asking you that,
but I always go around the whole thing first. But the reality is, I'm riding with Stevenson.
Okay, all right, there you go. Frank Sanchez fights the way because of the Cuban amateur background. I knew Efe Agbaji was a moron when he took that step up level fight against him so soon. He got humbled. Sanchez is good. Yeah, I know, but you would think at some point some of those habits in the gym would rub off on him. But he's got that amateur Cuban style drilled into him since he was a youngin, so he's not gonna go do all that
crazy. Yeah.
He's not gonna go do all that. That's not what he's about. You know,
that's crazy.
Yeah, and also having the best out of a fighter in sparring doesn't mean you will beat him in a real fight. Khan dominated Kell Brook in sparring and it got destroyed in the actual fight. And that's why, like, when I hear people on YouTube, like, they make videos saying, well, X fighter beat, Z fighter in sparring, so that means X fighter is going to beat up Z fighter in the real fight, and that's just not how it works. I know fighters. I've seen it with my own 4 eyes. Because in South Florida, like, I get a chance to go to a lot of gyms and see some good sparring. So I've seen some guys who look like pound for pound top 5 fighters in the gym, and they go on TV on the lights, get knocked the fuck out. So
it's like stage fright.
Yeah, it's like anything else. It's like anything else in life. Boxing Gem says a Reynoso jab is called a hook. It is.
There you go. Yeah.
Thank you. Unless you're Frank Sanchez.
Yeah.
The way Reynoso trains fighters reminds me of Hatton. When Hatton criticized Pac for doing the right hook under roll every time, because that's pretty much what all Reynoso guys do. 2 hooks and then roll. Yeah, but see, the thing is, his guys don't have the Manny Pacquiao like calves, and they don't have the Manny Pacquiao speed, so it doesn't have the same effect.
And to be fair, when Barrera fought, when the other Mexican fighter Barrera, what's the other guys? Name me the other Barrera.
Chavez,
Salvador Sanchez, and who else? Well,
Marquez.
Marquez. I'm quite sure they threw a jab. I'm sure that they are going to come to the same up here like this,
especially Salvador Sanchez. Yeah, that's why he's the best.
I just think that's probably a Reynoso type of teaching thing. I don't think it's attached to all Mexican fighters per se. So
MAW asked a great question, which honestly, look, I didn't even know this happened because I heard. Okay, so before I ask this question. Which organization ordered this fight? Was it the WBA? Because if it was the WBA, that doesn't make any sense. Because last I read, they ordered Taylor to fight Alberto Puello.
Yeah, I heard that.
So as far as Taylor versus Zepeda, I'll tell you this, man. This is not the fight that Taylor wants right now. Taylor needs to vacate the belt to go to 47. That's not what he wants. He don't want no Zepeda in his life right now. Zepeda is a guy who's an aggressive southpaw like himself. Zepeda, in my eyes, is already a world championship fighter, to be honest with you, because I thought he just beat Ramirez all those years ago. But Zepeda, I think at this point would beat the brakes off Taylor, because Taylor is going to be weight drained. Zepeda is going to be there in his chest, and Zepeda is a guy that's grown with a lot of confidence. He's been getting some real good wins lately, and the Josue Vargas fight only just took his confidence to that next level, along with the Baranchyk fight and the little Hank Lundy fight in between. So I like Josh Taylor. I'm still a big fan of him. I'm just like, I'm not as big of a fan of his now because he's just diluted, and he needs to go up to 47 already. What do you guys think of William Zepeda? Yes, William Zepeda. He's fighting on the Zordo card. He's co-main event. That's probably the only real competitive fight on that card. I'm serious. That's probably the only real competitive fight on paper that I can see on that card.
That caught your attention.
Yeah, he's fighting Rene Alvarado. Alvarado taking 3 straight losses. 2 to Gutierrez, 1 to Lamont Roach. William Zepeda is an aggressive southpaw. He's got the most stereotypical like Mexican style there is. I'm not really like the highest on him. I think he's a good puncher, but I think the minute he runs into like a boxer who can punch as well, like a good boxer puncher or really aggressive counter puncher, I think he's done. I think someone like what is he at 135?
Well,
like let's just say if Golden Boy ever decided to make an in-house fight between him and Ryan Garcia, he would be splattered.
They're gone.
He would get splattered. Makes a lot of lapses defensively, but look, he's 25 fights in, so we know what he is. I think he'll be a lower tier contender.
Right.
Aggressive guy. He'll make some entertaining fights, but I don't really see like a, because I heard people say like Williams Perez is this like really great fighter, and he would beat Ryan Garcia if they fought. I don't see it, but we'll see. Sometimes fighters develop when as time goes on. We'll see what comes of them. But I'm not really the highest on him if I'm being honest. Usam says Reynoso doesn't teach Frank Sanchez shit. Frank Sanchez already learned how to box in his homeland. Reynoso is trash.
That's what I'm saying. Cuba.
Usam ain't letting up.
No, he's saying it, he calls it the way he sees it.
Yeah. So it is what it is, man. Let me see. Tio is still having nightmares about George's Kambosos. George Feroz's Kambosos. Julius overhand right.
We're still talking about him. Get off of that.
Who, Tio?
Move on. Yeah.
See, Tio tweeted that he was going to return in June, but other than that, there isn't much to talk about. There isn't. That's why, because I've heard people have been criticizing me recently. I got a couple critical comments where people have said, like, oh, well, you don't talk about Tio no more. You turned on him and this, that, and the third. And it's like, no, there's nothing to fucking talk about. What you're going to sit here and talk about him potentially fighting Liam Paro all day? I could do that.
And you want us to keep talking about Kambosos putting the ass beating on him?
That's old news.
I mean, you heard the last thing I heard from Tio, and that's, to be fair, the way he called it out was he's still disillusional. He calls it that whatever happened to Kambosos was a conspiracy theory. Get the fuck out of here. You got your ass fucking beat. You became complacent.
Said it was a setup. That's what he said.
You became complacent. You didn't do what you were supposed to do. You ran your fucking mouth instead of being in the gym more than what you should be. And you didn't focus on the fight like Kambosos did. That's just facts. So don't sit there and for you to move on, whether you move up to 140 or 147 or whatever you're gonna do, you have to accept the fact that you got your ass beat and move on.
There you have it. I mean, we don't know what's going on. The sanctioning bodies are playing ring around the mandatories. Where first Tio was rumored to fight Arnold Barbosa at one point, very briefly. Then he was rumored to fight Liam Paro, and so who knows?
He's what top rank now?
He's still a top rank.
Yeah, I know his dad says things, but I don't know how true he is. He's always ranking. I pray for him. I'm just saying, like, even when they interview him, you don't know what the fuck he's saying, if it's right or wrong. So don't take anything he says. Take it for a grain of salt.
Yeah, shout out to everyone here. Make sure you smash that like button. Definitely take the time to subscribe. If you're new to these parts, Canelo Exposed by Bivol, bringing you guys that world-class content. And again, guys, I'm going to encourage you guys again, if you have not done so already, because you may have missed it when I said it earlier. I want you guys to go vote on the poll. A lot of people have been telling me that, hey, BT, you got to keep the name for another week. And not you shouldn't just keep the name of Canelo Exposed by Bivol for this week, but keep it all next week too. So I didn't want to make the decision. I left it to the people. So far, if we go and we look at our poll right now, we've had about 109 votes. 59%. 59% of people want me to keep the name.
The public is talking.
Hey, you Canelo fans, if you don't want, because I've been getting all these comments where I've been getting these comments a lot of Canelo fans bitching and moaning about my temporary channel name. Yeah, and they're not really. Let me show you guys. Look, this is the poll. So like they may comment, but they're not showing out. Where the Canelo fans at? If y'all don't win this poll, and I got one of my Instagram story as well, so go vote there as well. But if y'all don't win this poll, this shit gonna be here for another week, and it's gonna piss you off more. So Canelo fans, you better go ahead and know.
And this is the public.
This is the public. This time it's not me. So yeah, make sure you go. Make sure you definitely go and
He's just having fun with it, guys.
Make sure you go and vote to that poll. We having fun with it.
Yeah, that's all he's doing. He's having fun with it, and if the fans want to see it, subscribers want to see it, guess what? We's doing it. That's just the way. That's just the way it is. As far as that.
Usam says, "Keep the name forever," and let the Dawsons cry.
I know somebody has to recommend that he makes some T-shirts.
Gotta make some T-shirts.
That's some crazy stuff.
Let's do a poll right now. We'll do a poll right now.
God,
yes or no? Should I make Canelo exposed by Bivol t-shirts. I'll do that shit today. I'll go on Teespring today and do that.
That was a crazy shit there. Yeah, I was like, what?
Should I make Canelo exposed?
I forgot who told you to do
t-shirts.
it. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, you could.
You know what? I just realized too.
What?
I never changed my name on StreamYard, so we're gonna do that now.
Oh Lord,
we're gonna do that now. I never changed my name here on StreamYard, so let me go ahead and do that. Canelo exposed by Bivol. A lot of people think I'm this angry guy and all that stuff. I'm having fun. I'm laughing my ass off. There you go. There's the name.
Listen, it's just like when other fans were coming here, they were gonna laugh out of us.
Now we had the last laugh.
It is what it is.
So we'll see. Tio is stuck with Top Rank after dissing Showtime, PBC, and DAZN. They did. Yeah,
they had no other option. They had to go back. I mean, when he was walking out that fight, they didn't want to talk to nobody. When somebody came out and literally said like, he gonna have to go back to the Godfather.
Yeah.
And sure enough, it was the Godfather.
So Kofi McDonald says, please tell me you saw that clip of Teofimo smoking hookah in that one video not too long ago. Hey, you smoke hookah. You know what hookah is?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a video that came out with Teofimo like at some lounge smoking hookah. What do you think?
Like I say, he's just a dissolution of talking about the conspiracy theory. He's trying to find a way out. And that's what he do. So be it. But that's not going to be the answer to him not realizing he got his ass whooped by Kambosos.
Yeah, so
you got to accept that. That's my whole point. Smoke hookah, smoke hierba, fuma lo que tú quieras, pasto. You know, smoke whatever you want.
You know what? I just thought of this right now. So yes or no? Type yes or no in the comments if you guys remember this. Do you guys remember when Teofimo Lopez and Canelo both posed with the belts? Say yes or no. Do you remember that, Pops?
Oh yeah.
Do you remember this moment in time, Pops? Right here. This moment in time. This is almost an alternate universe right here. Hold on. Let me go to screen share. Let's go to screen share. Yes or no? Does anybody remember when Teofimo and Canelo posed with the belts? I got something to say. About that. Okay? Yeah. So look, here listen. So we're in an alternate universe. The month is it's early November 2021. Canelo's the undisputed champion. Teofimo Lopez is on top of the light heavyweight division, looking like he's going to be on the pound for pound list for many, many, many years to come.
Right
now, both of them lost. They both lost.
Oh no! I know you can go there with that.
And now, Michael, you remember that song by Michael Jackson? You remember how it went?
Which one?
He said, "I'm searching for the man in the mirror." They both got to do the same thing.
Oh, you crazy!
Canelo has to look in the mirror. He has to look at who he is. He's got to look at okay, how can I get these titles back? And I like Teofimo. I'm not trying to clown him or nothing, but same thing. He's got to correct what he needs to correct in his life and get back in the gym and show the world why we fell in love with Teofimo Lopez in the first place. But they listen. They both in the same boat. I'm not making a video about this. Canelo Alvarez and Teofimo Lopez are in the same boat right now.
Yeah.
They were at the top of the mountain, and now they're just like any other fighter. They're just guys who had belts at one point and they lost. And they got
people will say about Canelo, he still swept over the whole 168 and so forth. And but at the end of the day, nobody thought he wasn't beatable. And sure enough, Toma.
You have it, man. So it is what it is, man. Oh, we got another super chat. Shout out to my man Edgar Alas for the $2 super chat. You guys know the drill. When the super chats come out, so does Don King. So Don King, go ahead and talk to him.
Hey everybody, let's have some fun. You don't live but once, and when you're dead, you're done. So let the good times roll. It don't matter whether you're young or old. Let the good times roll.
Yeah, and let the good times be rule here on True School Sports. And you know who lets the good times roll the most? My main man, the big bad booty daddy. So Scott Steiner, put these people in the Steiner recliner.
With a bump and grind. And it's only a matter of time because they call me the big bad booty daddy.
So shout out to Edgar Alas for the super chat. He says Haney will beat Kambosos like Shakur did Valdez. Nah, you're wrong. You're wrong about that, champ.
What do you say?
Devin can win the fight. I can see Devin outboxing George, but George Kambosos is a much more talented fighter than Oscar Valdez. George Kambosos can box better than Valdez. He can box better than Valdez. He's faster than Valdez. He's more defensively sound than Valdez. George Kambosos is a much entirely different challenge than Oscar Valdez.
It's a different monster.
So it's a different level of fighter. But look, I know people may disagree with that and say, well, Oscar won this title and he beat this guy and that guy. Listen, George is a better fighter. George Kambosos Jr. is a better fighter at 135 than Oscar Valdez is at 130. Yeah. And there's no two ways about it. But I respect your opinion, and we're gonna see come when they fight June 4th. Yeah. We're gonna see. May the best. Listen, I'm a fan of both fighters. May the best man win. I just want to see the best fight possible. What's going on? It's your boy H Money, Mr. The Zone. We in the building. They're ducking Devin Haney. He said, "Salute. What's good? What's good, H Money?
Going on, man? H Money.
Good to see you, man.
Yeah.
Good to see you. Hope all is well." He says it's Haney time. It's Haney time.
Woo! Yeah. He's ready.
Yeah.
It won't be long. How long? It won't be long.
Won't be long now.
Who's that?
How long? Not long. Yeah. What do y'all think of WBC giving Haney the belt? That's old news, man. They gave him the belt. Haney fought some good quality veterans, did his thing, did what he needed to do. Well, all that matters now is that he's fighting George Kambosos Jr. and he's doing it in a way that is extremely unbeneficial to him. He's going to Australia twice to fight him. How many American fighters would do that?
A big paycheck.
How many American fighters would take less money, go to a whole nother continent in a crazy ass time zone, right? And fight somebody like George Kambosos in a stadium twice. Who will do that? Devin will do that. So respect.
Yeah, this is what you do when you want to get your dreams and live your dreams. You got to go take that whatever journey you got to take to get there. And shout out to Haney. I think it's going to be a great fight.
Okay. LVM 20 says Castano versus Charlo is the only fight we should be talking about right now. It is, and it's funny enough you said that tonight. Whenever this live is done, I have about like 4 or 5 videos on that fight alone. Mm-hmm. Like 4 or 5 videos on that fight alone I gotta do. So you'll get don't get it twisted, LVM. We're having fun with the Canelo stuff and Ryan and whatnot with the Ryan Cruz as well. But starting tomorrow, we're gonna really pump out that Castano Charlo content because look, this is a big fight and this is a fight that the people wanted. The people wanted this fight.
Yeah.
And we're getting the rematch and it was one of the best fights of 2021 and I truly believe that it has a chance to be just as good here in 2022 because you got Charlo who's got a lot to prove. You got Castano who has a lot to prove. And yeah, I was wrong yesterday.
You're going for Castano right now.
I'm going for Charlo. I'm going with Charlo. I got to support.
No, I'm riding Castano. No way. I'm riding with Castano.
I got to support Mr. Keep on your mouth.
If Castano fights,
I got to support him.
If Castano fight the same fight he fought the first fight, he's going to fuck up Charlo. I'm riding with Castano.
Charlo will knock him the fuck out. Charlo is going to knock him out.
The first fight.
Listen.
Charlo couldn't do the first fight. What makes you do the second time?
Charlo's going to knock him out. And when his body's on the ground and motionless, he's going to look right at the camera and he's going to say, keep on your fucking mouth.
I like Charlo.
Keep on your mouth.
Charlo's bringing a lot of excitement to boxing, but he didn't do it the first time. And Castano said it. You didn't do the first time. What makes you do the second time?
He figured him out at the back half of that fight.
Castano is not Castano's not Harrison. Castano went there and showed out on Charlo, and Charlo was the favorite probably in the first fight.
You're damn right. He's not Harrison. Harrison's way harder.
The what?
The Castano. It's harder.
Yeah, but I'm saying what I'm getting at is Harrison lost that fight to Charlo in the rematch. What I'm saying is Castano's not backing down from that. He had to go do his homework the second time around. I got Castano.
Charlo's gonna sleep him. I'm gonna laugh my ass off.
You think so?
Now Rico's asking the right question. He's asking the right question. He says, "What fight is there left that y'all are most excited for on the schedule?"
We got.
I'll tell you the two. I'll tell you the two that I'm most excited for. The 2 fights that I'm most excited for are Kambosos versus Haney.
Definitely that
one. And Better Biev versus Joe Smith Jr. Those are the 2.
Yeah, there's more though. Isn't there more? Yeah.
There's Rolly versus Tank.
That one's good too.
Oh, I'll tell you. I'll give you one fight answer. So it's none of those fights. You know what fight I'm most excited for?
Lord help me, tell me.
Daniel Dubois versus Bryan. Yo,
get the fuck out of here.
I'm excited about this fight because let me tell you why I'm excited about Daniel Dubois versus Bryan. First and foremost, the fight's in South Florida, so I understand. First of all, I get to cover a fight and not have to take a plane. No, I can just get on my scooter
and maybe be Don King. Get to see Don King.
Drive up the street and do my interview. So I'm excited about that. But apart from that, Dubois, I see it as a crossroads fight, right? Because Dubois, the first opponent he ever fought that really punched him in his shit, he quit. That's the reality. He's a talented fighter.
Dubois is going to smash him, Brendan. Dubois is going to smash him.
I've said it for years. Bryan is a better heavyweight.
Dubois is going to smash him, Brendan.
We're going to see.
You can't just base that one fight where he had the elbow broken or whatever was went down. That's only one time thing. Before that, what did Dubois do? He's going to continue doing now. More so now because he's got to prove that he belongs up there.
What about what Bryan's got to prove? He got to prove more than him.
Okay,
he got to prove more than him.
I know Bryan got hurt. I love Bryan. I love McKinley. I like all you guys.
And he's getting in shape. So now you're not.
But hey, I'm riding with Dubois. Simple as that. I don't care how much training. I don't care.
I'm gonna wait to see.
I don't care how much weight he lost.
I'm gonna wait to see.
I know he has Larry Holmes, the best jab
legend in shape
in boxing.
But no, don't be surprised.
No,
if Trevor
Bryan
Bryan's
will knock him out. Dubois coming here to the U.S. and you're gonna knock him the fuck out.
We're gonna see. If Trevor Bryan's in shape, watch out.
I know you're right.
If he's in shape, we'll see.
I mean, we're supposed to.
You think it's a cakewalk? People think it's a cakewalk. If Trevor Bryan is in shape for this fight, this will be a harder fight than a lot of people think. I think Trevor Bryan could beat Daniel Dubois.
Who do you think's the underdog in the fight?
Trevor Bryan is, because nobody knows who he is. Nobody knows who Trevor Bryan is. Only I know who he is, and the only reason I know who he is
We go to the gym and see him.
is because I've seen him. I've been covering him for like 7 years, but he's got one of the best jabs in this weight class. The only question with Trevor is like, will Trev's right hand show up? If that right hand show up, it's gonna be a really competitive fight, and Trevor Bryan will win. If that right hand is on, if he finds a home for that right hand, he will win this fight.
He will beat the shit out of Dubois.
If Trevor Bryan, it's a big if, but if he's in shape and he finds home for that right hand,
so who you riding with?
We're gonna see. Let the people see.
There we go. Okay. You see what I'm saying?
We're gonna see. I'm not picking no one.
All right.
I'll let you know. I'll give you a prediction on fight week when I see.
Nah, it doesn't matter. I mean, to be fair to Bryan, he went to Las Vegas, changed his whole camp, and he's out there working his ass off, losing weight and everything, getting back in shape. So
because people don't watch boxing, Trevor Bryan's resume is not that good. Saying nicely, honestly, he hasn't fought no great fighters, right? But he fought Romain Stavern last year in January, and Stavern was champion, and Stavern, was a guy named in the division,
right?
And when he fought Stavern, one thing that I did notice was that he actually got, even though he looked fat, if you go back and you watch the fight, he actually got stronger as the fight went on. Now I know Stavern is not Dubois. I know he's not 6'6".
Against Stavern or comes last fight that we see?
Stavern. When he fought Stavern, he picked up and got better as the fight went on. So people just writing him off. People really think that Dubois is gonna go in there in a round and just get him out of there.
I just think
it's not gonna happen.
I just think what Dubois brings to the table was more than what I've seen from Bryan. I've seen Bryan in a long time.
Can Trevor Bryan boss Dubois with his jab in a similar way that Joyce did? He can. I don't think his jab is as good as Joyce, to be honest with you. I think Joyce may have the best jab in the whole weight class, along with Fury.
Well, I will say like,
but hey, look, I'll tell you like this. Look. If you made a list in this division of who has the best jabs, I think he'd be up there. It's just that he hasn't been able to show it.
I would just say like this.
I'm gonna tell you this: win, lose or draw, people will have to put some respect on Trevor Bryan come June 11th.
I mean, at the end of the day, he does have a belt, right? We call it.
He does.
And we got respect on that. I would just say like this: if Trevor Bryan comes in here in the best shape that I've seen him since I've been going to the gym and everything, and I see a big change in him, and I can see from the first round all this movement and all the stuff that I would expect him to do, then I'll be okay with it. I'll leave it at that.
Okay, we got still a super chat from my man Edgar with a $2 super chat, so we'll give Edgar another Don King.
Hey everybody, let's have some fun. You don't live but once, and when you're dead, you're done. So let the good times roll. It don't matter whether you're young or old. Let the good times roll.
And let the good times roll we will now, and we'll then let those good times roll on June 11th in Miami when Daniel Dubois takes on Trevor Bryan. It's going to be a momentous occasion. But Edgar says Kambosos went life and death with Lee Selby. He did not go life and death with Lee Selby. That's bullshit. He beat Lee Selby. That should have been a UD. Like, George Kambosos Jr. is the greatest split decision fighter in the history of boxing. He's won 3 straight fights, all by split decision. He beat Mickey Bay by split decision, Lee Selby by split decision, and Teofimo Lopez by split decision.
He did what he had to do.
But the only guy that really earned, out of all 3 of those guys, the only person that the only person that actually deserved a split decision loss on his record was Mickey Bay. Lee Selby and Teofimo were clearly beat. Clearly, like I don't know where they got.
It was close.
Those fights being splits, but
did Lee Selby just retire too?
He did. Gustavo Lemos beat the shit out of him. Shout out to Argentina.
That's a guy. Yeah.
He says, bro, Romain Stavern is brain dead. Check his interview talking. I don't need to check his interview. I talked to him myself when
we were there at the gym.
When I watched him spar.
We became good friends too.
He talked just fine.
He laid back. We talked to him at the gym. He married to a Cuban woman. I'm married to a Cuban woman.
There you go.
We became buddies. I mean, you're right what you're saying. I just think that I don't know. I'll pray for the Dream Bryan, but right now my gut's just going with Dubois.
I don't know, man. I'm gonna say win, lose, or draw. People are gonna have to respect his name.
No, you have to, but I mean, I cannot see the same Dubois. I mean, I cannot see the same Bryan.
Why not?
No, I cannot see the way Bryan moves in that ring in the last couple of fights I've seen. He didn't impress me one bit. and that's calling it real.
You can't. You making a mistake again. You're making a big mistake. He making a mistake that boxing fans make all the time. He's making the same mistake that let Canelo get his ass beat by Bivol. He's going by what happened, how he looked in his last couple of fights, but he did
no. But up and down all time. But I'm also saying that if he comes in here and he's doing what he's doing now in Las Vegas, come up fit, lose some weight, and I see some movement, and I see him do that.
It's heavyweight boxing. You don't need to slow damn movement. Hold on. I gotta cut you off. It's heavyweight boxing. You don't need no movement in heavyweight boxing.
I've got to see the way he moves in there. I got to see what he does, and I got to go ahead and
movement.
What I'm saying is
boxing.
But Brendan,
he's not fighting.
The last couple fights we've seen, he was out of shape. Let's call it what we see it. He was out of shape.
He wasn't out of shape.
Yes, he was.
I guess the Bryan was out of shape. He got better as the fight went on. He looked out of shape. Right. He wasn't out of shape. Go watch the Stavern fight. Go watch the Stavern fight. He got better as the fight went along.
If Bryan becomes in good shape, and he goes in there.
He was in good shape. The Stavern fight. He was.
Okay, but the fight after the Stavern fight, the guy that he fought, he looked like shit in that fight.
Did you watch that fight?
Yeah.
Okay.
Fred showed it on Instagram.
Did you watch the fight? No.
I seen enough to see. I seen enough to what I had to see. That's why I'm glad he went to Las Vegas and got his mind in shape, because that's why he got the legend Larry Holmes. And that's why McKinley got him out there climbing mountains and climbing up trees and climbing desert plants or whatever he's doing. But he's got to get in there in better shape than he has in all his fights that I've seen him. Puto.
Dude, you act like Dubois is this killer. Like,
Dubois is a monster.
You're the same guy.
I'm a big fan of Dubois.
Edgar Garcia, which I'm going to get to in a second.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Dubois.
You're the same guy.
The only time I did better, Hergovic, that's the only one I was wrong.
You're the same guy who sat here and flapped your gum saying that Dubois was better than Hergovic. You shouldn't even talk about Dubois right now.
I'm just saying.
I love you, but you shouldn't.
I'm just saying what I see from Bryan. I need to see a discipline in him, and I hope that he gets it going to Las Vegas, and hopefully he'll win the fight.
Okay, I'm gonna get to the super chat. Okay, let's give Edgar some good old Stone Cold Steve Austin playing the guitar.
That's how a white man plays guitar.
Edgar Allah, shout out to you again for the super chat. He says, remember Rayo Valenzuela, Los Mochis, Sinaloa, Mexico. Yeah, Rayo Valenzuela.
Viva Mexico.
Good prospect, someone that is making a lot of waves, power punches, southpaw, very tall for the lightweight division. I like Rayo Valenzuela. I had the opportunity to I didn't interview him, but I had a conversation with him when I was out in San Diego for the Charlo fight, and really, really down to earth guy, has a good head on his shoulders, and just wish him the best. Hopefully. I would like if PBC wants to start making some good fights happen for the young fighters. Like I said many times this year, give me Rayo Valenzuela versus the Ghost, Frank Martin. I want to see Rayo Valenzuela versus Frank Martin, but I know it won't happen because
the networks,
PBC.
But I mean, shout out to Valenzuela. He's getting better and better, and I think the sky's the limit with him.
Yeah, the Simpsons episode where. I don't know if that has to do anything. Do you think Garcia versus Cruz happens as it was ordered? No, I think a problem will happen. I think what's going to happen is exactly what Oscar de la Hoya said. Because they have till June 14th to make a deal. There won't be any deal till June 14th. They'll go to purse bid, and they'll pull out the purse bid, and then they'll elect to go another route. Cruz, Garcia will probably fight like Zaur Abdullayev or something like that, and. People will be inferior. People will be angry. Some people will be shocked because they didn't think this far ahead. But I'm letting you guys know what it is.
T-Street came out and said it. Shout out to him. T-Street controversy, and my son was telling me that we don't know. When the networks are involved, you just never don't get right.
Well, no. Before I even deal with the networks, we can't even deal with them until these guys actually agree to fight. So we'll see. Rico Ranzo says one random fight I want to see is Jeremiah Nakatilia versus Richard Comey. I don't know why. It looks like their styles make for a good fight. Well, Comey's fighting. Comey's next fight, I believe, is he's fighting Jose Pedraza. Is it Pedraza? Hold on, let me see.
Pedraza. I
think it was Pedraza. Richard Comey. I think it was. I'm pretty sure it was Jose Pedraza. Let's see. Let's see if I was right. Yeah. So Richard Comey will be fighting Jose Pedraza. And look. Pedraza, right? I really thought that the Ramirez fight could have been a draw. I don't think neither one of them really separated themselves, but he's been doing his best boxing at 40, and I used to really crack on Pedraza back in the Hold on. Let me finish my statement about Pedraza, because I saw a comment that caught my eye. But Pedraza, I used to crack him a lot when he was weight drained and whatnot, and he's really turned into probably one of the better fighters that Puerto Rico has had out of the last couple years.
You've been saying that,
and I like Pedraza.
Yeah.
I like that fight. Now the question becomes, he's definitely good enough and strong enough to give Comey problems and even hurt him. Because Comey is not the most exactly. He don't got an iron chin himself, but Comey punching that. He can punch.
Yeah,
he can punch like an MF.
Who's got the better skills out of the two?
Pedraza, but it's a good fight. Fight. Now, getting back to the comment though about Nakatilia versus Comey, I literally just tweeted that recently. I want to see that fight. Mm-hmm. Two African fighters, hard punching fighters. Nakatilia is on the come up. He's showing his class. He's showing what he can do in the sport. Come out, that's Shakur Stevenson loss. He beat the hell out of Burchell. I would love to see him get a crack at the former world champion, who's also, from the same continent as him. So should be a great
clash.
Yeah. Now this punk motherfucker right here, Michael M. He says Canelo is the GOAT. Which before I even finish the rest of his whack ass comment,
thank you for coming on the channel.
Thank you for coming on the channel and exposing yourself and not knowing shit about boxing. But Michael M. The fact that you would even insinuate that Canelo is the GOAT. First of all, he ain't even the GOAT from his own damn country. Never mind the fighters from all other countries. He's like this far. He's like this far from Salvador Sanchez. Okay? And so you already don't know shit about boxing. He said undisputed at 168 less than a year, which everybody knows that, okay, it was cool. He gets credit for it, but he didn't beat no like real killers. Best fighter he beat was Caleb Plant. I'll give him that. Other than that, no real killers. He was fighting legends by himself. So you can't even type the fucking comment right. He was fighting legends by himself, sounded out champ, by the age of 23, which he lost. Nerd's gonna hate later. I'm out of this virgin channel. This nerd will beat the living shit out of you in real life if you say that in my face. But God bless you, champ.
Yeah, God bless you for coming, champ. Thank you for your comment.
All right, God bless you. Never judge a book by its cover or by its cover or whatever the saying is. What kind of a Canelo fan page is this? It's not, first of all, it's not a Canelo fan page. This is a boxing page. We're just trolling. We're just trolling the Canelo fans because I don't know if you're 180, but it's just fun. Virgin channel. I like that. Tell your girlfriend I said hi. Tell her if you have one, Mike. If you have one, tell her I said hello, and tell her to have those grits on the table when I come by. Most likely, Garcia will drop out the fight. I want to see Pitbull versus Rayo. If the Pitbull versus Rayo, I think is a much more realistic fight because Rayo is, they're both on the same umbrella. Mexican fighter versus Mexican fighter. Be a hell of a fight. Be a hell of a fight. Two guys that come to bang and get knocked out. So if this fight doesn't happen, which I don't think it will, Garcia versus Cruz, then that's a great alternative. I love that fight. Give us your top 5 Mexican boxers of all time. Okay, perfect. Number one is Salvador Sanchez. Number 2 would be probably Chavez. Number 3 would be Eric Morales. I did a whole video on this. I literally did a whole video on this. Number 4 would probably be like Vicente Salvador. 5 could be Ricardo Lopez, something like that. I did a whole video on this, but I think Canelo is just now knocking on the door of being a top 5 Mexican fighter. If you really know the history of Mexican boxing, it's not even a slight on Canelo Alvarez. It's just that the country Mexico has produced so many fucking good fighters. It's not his fault. His country's one of the powerhouses of boxing. USA, Mexico, Japan.
To this day.
These are countries where it's tough to crack the top 10, let alone the top 5. Yeah. I'll say he's definitely top 10. He's no doubt about it. He's cemented himself as a top 10 Mexican fighter. But top 5 is where you really, really, really got to be doing things like extraordinary. I think for him, the extraordinary thing to do would be to fight Bivol at 175 and beat him. He do that, then now we can say, maybe he's top. We could say he's a top 5 Mexican fighter. But right now, he's knocking on the door, but he's just not quite there yet. But he's definitely cemented himself as a top 10 Mexican fighter. That at most.
I mean, you still gotta give respect to him.
I'm not hating.
One of the biggest issues on this channel is that we've been wanting him for years to fight Bivol Andre, and for years he's been saying he's a horrible fighter. This is probably a tough Mexican fighter that says that Bivol Andre is a horrible fighter, but he can't get his balls to fight him. But then I realized why. After I watched what Bivol did to him, I could just imagine what Bivol could do.
And that's the thing. You know what? I'm gonna respond on that in a second. And that's the thing, right? That's the thing. That's the thing with Canelo. People may ask me, why do you hate Canelo so much? Why are you so hard on Canelo? You're not being fair. You're being mean. Things like that. And my thing is this: is like, okay, well, you don't want me to be talking bad about Canelo, be critical of Canelo, but how did you guys allow Canelo to get away with calling a guy who's a world amateur champion, U.S. Olympian, undefeated fighter, two division world champion? Like, you allowed that guy to call him a horrible fighter, and then you want me to give him a no? I'm not giving him a pass.
And this guy been chasing him for
AD says, bro, were you even allowed to see Salvador Sanchez? Who the fuck? Historic ass thing. Yeah, well, we have this thing, AD. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. We're actually on it right now. It's called YouTube.com. And the great thing about YouTube.com is that it has all these fights from the past. So I know you're probably too lazy and you don't study the history of boxing, but see, I study the history of boxing. In fact, just today, like this afternoon, I watched the entire Salvador Sanchez versus Danny Lopez fight, a fight you probably don't even know about. So it's not my fault you don't know anything about boxing. I'm not gonna dumb my list down or dumb myself down for people like yourself. You know, he said, who the historic? Yeah, historic. Call it a historic ass nigga. That's me. That's me. I'm glad you're here though. Glad to have people like you here because if everybody agreed with me, it wouldn't be as fun. So I'm glad.
It's boxing. You're gonna have your opinions. I don't want to go to Canelo thing because I'm going to say my own opinion too.
So then he says black and white ass fights. Don't nobody want to see that shit. The past is the past. The new is the new. Okay, well, there's some guys in the past that are better than the guys in the present. That's just what it is. And then hold on. You said it's a black and white fight. Salvador Sanchez fought in the 80s. He was the 1981 Ring Magazine Fighter of the Year with Sugar Ray Leonard. That means that his fucking fights were in color. That means his fights were on ABC. So don't give me that black and white bullshit. He fought in color. He fought on ABC, and he was the Fighter of the Year the same time when Sugar Ray Leonard was fighting. So don't give me that bullshit, bro. Take that whack ass, weak ass shit to some other channel. This ain't the place for that. You know, nobody cares about it, right? You say nobody cares about Salvador Sanchez. Well, then why are you responding?
Because you didn't know shit about him. That's why.
Shout out to my boy Kanan Lawrence. How you doing, champ? It's been a long time.
What's up?
Hope you're good. Shout out to you and your dad and everybody down at the Heavyweight Factory.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what's going on at the gym now, but hope if there is a gym. But you know, hope all is well with you, champ.
God bless.
Let me see. Cruz would probably fool Garcia like a beach chair. I don't think so. But listen, I want to see the fight. I want to see.
Good call.
I want to see. I'm interested in finding out.
Cruz.
I know Southpaw hate Ryan Garcia. He says Pitbull Cruz would kill Queen Ryan. I don't think so.
I'll go with Pitbull.
I don't think so.
I'll ride with Pitbull. But anyways, we don't know until if we see the fights.
Let's see, Edgar, drop another super chat with BT about how terrible Kambosos is, or have you maxed out of Mama's? Oh man, that's funny. I appreciate everything. I'm not.
Yeah, we have. I mean, everybody got their own thing. What I find hard to believe is that because we have our own opinion on certain fighters and why we say this. You know what BT has been doing for years for Canelo? This is a pen, and he says, "Do this." And he'll be happy.
I'll be all right. He don't even got to win against Andre.
Oh, the old subscribers, you know what I'm talking about.
Canelo don't even got to beat Andre. He signed that contract. I'll change my whole tune. I'll start saying. But you know what? Look. I give him credit. At least at the minimum, at least he fought Bivol at the 175 limit.
Yeah,
no catch.
I'm with you on that one. And then, like I'll say it again. Once I seen the movement, the things that Bivol did, that I can see. What Boo Andre does in the ring also, maybe a different way, but he does have the movement and the mobility that will cause problems to Canelo. Now I can see why Canelo hasn't fought him for years. For years. You can't sit here and call somebody a horrible fighter when you look horrible this Saturday.
Yeah.
You don't even know how to throw a jab. Anyways.
I almost feel like, you know what AD sounds like right now? He sounds like, This guy sounds like Hyro. I feel like this could be Hyro.
You think he's poking?
I don't think it is Hyro, but he's talking
poking
like
the bear.
He says, "Man, them low quality ass fights. Don't nobody want to see that shit. I promise you. You weren't even allowed to see it just like the fight that your dad or whoever that is like. Well, no, it doesn't matter.
What he say?
He's saying that I wasn't allowed to see it, so I can't talk. Bro, I literally just watched Salvador Sanchez today.
Listen, man.
I watched.
If you go to YouTube, and I'll just tell it in simple terms, because maybe you not understand what he's trying to tell you. If
you can study the history of boxing,
not just history and anything you want to look at, anything. Obviously, you must be you're not in America. I don't know where the fuck you're from. Because if you were in America, you would know what YouTube is. Any information you need to find about anything, background, history on presidents, whatever you can, go to YouTube.
And also, just so you know, some of these quote unquote low quality fights, AD, they have been digitally remastered and put back out in 1080p. So the fight that I watched today that just so happened to be in 1080p. I actually saw Salvador Sanchez versus Danny Lopez, number one.
1080p is?
In 1080p. Just so you know, they got different resolutions. So they got like what was it? 480, 720, 1080. You know, I watched it in 1080p today, man. Things are possible. Crazy things are possible on the internet.
Yeah, so we'll pray for you though.
BT, I grew up in Compton. This guy wouldn't survive 10 minutes here or in Little Haiti.
Hey, like I said, he just I'll leave it alone. Yeah,
you
talking real though.
I don't know what you got. Who has Salvador Sanchez fought? Danny Lopez twice.
Nelson.
Azuma Nelson. Wilfredo Gomez. Juan Laporte. He was a month away from fighting Juan Laporte when he died. He died on like August 12th. 1980 something. He was supposed to fight Juan Laporte in September 15th, 1980. So he was a month away from the rematch. If he would have beat him, he would have moved up in weight and he would have fought Alex Arguello. Do you know who that is? That's like one of the greatest fighters ever, Alex Arguello. So, just
God bless you, AD.
God bless you, AD. Much love.
I did it one time on the live. I called him this guy Hyro. Hyro, stop messing with me.
No, it wasn't Hyro.
No, not this time. The guy said, "Who's Hyro?"
Yeah.
Tell me who Hyro was.
He says, "Bro, who even knows who people are? No, nobody knows who they are. Nobody knows. Listen, nobody knows who Canelo is outside of the western part of America and Mexico. We can both play the tit for tat. If nobody knows Salvador Sanchez, nobody knows who Canelo is outside of the western part of America or Mexico. We'll do that. They're all them guys I just named you, 80. Just so you know, all them guys I named you are all in the Hall of Fame. They're all in the Hall of Fame.
He fought Hall of Fame was four.
He had a better resume at 23 years old than Canelo has right now at 31.
On to the next.
On to the next one.
God bless.
Clarissa Tarico says, would Oscar really risk Ryan with Pitbull? Might as well put him in with a bigger name if you're going to risk that loss. I don't know.
What else is he got in the stable?
I mean, he's got Sneesa Estrada, but that's going to end soon. He got Virgil Ortiz. He's got a lot of different people.
I think he's begging to get Canelo back, though. One of the videos I seen earlier.
He's trolling, but,
just trolling?
He's trolling. No, he's trolling, but in the midst of, but behind all the trolling, deep down, he's trying to get Canelo back. Because Golden Boy is not really doing the best right now.
No, at all.
And they need something, but like I feel like they can solve this problem easily. They just need to somehow find a way to get Ryan a big fight. So like let's just say, right, in the event that George Kambosos Jr. actually goes ahead and let's just say he beats Devin Haney in such a dominant fashion that there is no rematch, right? Mm-hmm. Then after that, you could have the fight that I always thought was going to happen, which is Ryan Garcia versus George.
You've been saying that.
So yeah, I really think that's going to be the fight that Ryan Garcia is going to get.
And that's to the Haney's fans, and we like him here to his dad. We're not hating on him either. Good luck to him too. We just think that Kambosos is a better man.
Yeah. Edgar Alla says Fundora smashes Tim Tszyu to bits. I mean, look, I like Tim Tszyu. I hope that Tim Tszyu can continue to improve, but
he's got 2 surgeries in his hands.
Based on what I see in the Troy Goucher fight, Tim Tszyu need a whole lot of improvement, especially if you're gonna fight the towering Inferno.
I know, man. That guy's tall. He brings it though.
He comes to fight. He gets right on top of you. He got them tree trunk arms, and
I forgot who he called. He called out somebody.
I really wish he'd move up though. It still pisses me off.
He's a bully, weight bully.
I don't have to say it. You can see it. He is.
So what you want to move up to? 168?
Dad, he's tall.
What was he on that one?
He's taller than He's taller than Usyk.
Oh shit.
He's taller than a lot of the heavyweights. I know he's skinny as hell, but move up, man.
What 168?
Move up somewhere. 54. Move up somewhere. Eat a sandwich. Eat a fucking sandwich, like.
Yeah.
Eat some food, bro. Like.
But now he's getting his opportunities right now, brother.
Yeah, I know. I like him, but like. I'm not gonna sit here in front like he's a good fighter, but like, I feel some type of way about it. Like,
do you consider Benavidez a weight bully?
Yeah, he is.
Benavidez?
Benavidez is a weight bully, yeah. Benavidez is a light heavyweight. Benavidez is a light heavyweight. Benavidez, when he missed weight, they stripped Benavidez of the belt, and the WBC moved him up to the rankings to light heavyweight. He was number 1 in the WBC rankings at light heavyweight. Benavidez didn't want to fight there because he didn't want to fight Beterbiev, and he asked to be reinstated in the 168 rankings. He's a light heavyweight. He's killing himself to make the weight. When he fought whoever it was in the bubble, you know, he couldn't make the weight. He had to kill himself to make the weight. Like, move up, because he's missing out. The light heavyweight division is as hot as it's ever been.
I know.
He's wasting his time at 168. He could be up there fighting guys like Bivol and
but he wants that fight with Canelo. He wants that paycheck money. He knows a lot of Mexican people want to see that fight.
Canelo is not going to fight him. Canelo doesn't fight Mexicans. So I don't know why. Canelo even told you don't fight Mexicans.
Yeah.
Canelo said it his damn self you don't fight Mexicans. So why is he?
That's what he's hoping for, though. He never knows. Zordo said he'll fight him.
No, he's living the hope strategy. And living life in anything in the hope strategy will get you beat. You'll be on the wrong side. So he needs to make in my opinion, he should have made a move to light heavyweight a long time ago.
Did his dad tell you
I talked to his dad. I asked his dad.
Tell you that?
I asked Jose myself when I was in San Diego. I said, hey man, like what's going on with Benavidez? Can he has trouble making weight? Can he go to 175? And he was like, because I asked him about fighting Beterbiev because he got moved up there when he missed weight, and he was like, oh well, they offered us to fight with that guy from here with the promotions, Badu Jack. I didn't say shit about Badu Jack.
Oh no,
like,
well, how about what Morel said today? Why doesn't Benavidez put my name in his mouth? Morel wants.
AD says, are you one of those dudes that think Canelo's running from Benavidez and Charlo? Just wondering. I'm not one of those guys that think. I'm one of those guys that know Canelo is running from. Well, hold on. But screw both those guys. The main guy is running from is Andrade. That's the main guy. But after Andrade, he's running from Benavidez. Because that's the fight that people want to see. Like, even though I don't like Benavidez.
That'd be a big money fight, though.
AD, I think Canelo would beat the shit out of Benavidez.
You out of your damn
Maybe not now, though. Maybe now. Maybe his ego's hurt. Maybe not now. I have questions about it now.
Yeah.
But I still think like he'll have a great chance to beat Benavidez.
I think big money
in dominant fashion.
But you still feel he should go out.
There's no way you really think Andre can beat Canelo. He would beat Canelo. That's why Canelo doesn't want to fight him.
If you seen this fight this past weekend, and Canelo cannot handle angles and movement, and that's what Andre brings into the table. And yeah, we can argue the point about LaPlante. Okay, whatever. LaPlante was talking in the middle ring, in the middle fight, so I'm done with that. But I'm saying that's why he's been avoiding Canelo. Avoiding Bubwani for that simple reason. And I'm going to say it again. That's the reason for years he's been avoiding him.
I feel like Benavidez is full of shit sometimes. He don't be wanting to smoke for real, especially from the 175 pounders.
Well, I'm going to say like this. I'm going to discredit that. I'm just going to say with all, I respect your comment. Since I've seen his crazy ass manager, I think a lot of this has to do with Benavidez not getting the big fights because Lukowicz. Whatever his name is.
And who knows? Who knows?
Because I think he's a dog.
Maybe Samson, maybe there were negotiations behind closed doors for the Canelo fight, and maybe Samson even fucked that up. It's possible. It's actually possible. Yeah. I would have ruled it out. Mm-hmm. So, did you see Andre's fight struggle against a C-class fighter, bro? He won 12 rounds with a taxi driver. You mean Liam Williams? He did. First of all, he didn't struggle. So, if you think he struggled with Liam Williams, you need to please educate yourself and watch more boxing. He won the fight like 9 rounds of 3. Liam Williams had one good moment. And see, that's a problem with people like you stupid Canelo fans. You people, you come in here, you flap their gums, and you say just because a guy that you don't know, never heard of because you don't watch enough boxing and you haven't educated yourself, you say because a guy had 2 or 3 good moments in a fight, you think that's called struggling when he got dropped and he lost almost every. He was never in control of the fight. The fight was never close. It was 9-3, maybe even 10-2. It was a very easy fight to score. For you to come here and say he struggled. Okay, well, if you want to use that logic, then why the fuck did Canelo struggle with Jose Miguel Cotto? And why did he get wobbled by Miguel Cotto's brother? Why did he struggle in that fight? And you answer me that question. When Canelo made his American debut, he had problems with Larry Mosley boxing the shit out of him. Why didn't what's your answer to that question? Hold on, go ahead.
Carl was saying that Benavidez would kill Bivol.
Huh?
Carl Hansen was saying Benavidez would kill Bivol.
Don't you know how long ago that fight was, bro? What are you talking about? It seems like you got a problem with any fight that So now you care about context. You didn't care about context. Hold on. You didn't care about context when it came to Salvador Sanchez. Edgar, I see a super chat, but you didn't care about context when it came to Salvador Sanchez because you don't know shit about boxing. But now you care about. Get the hold on. Where's the man?
I'll pray for you.
I'll pray. I'm not gonna block you because of that's just childish. But
we'll pray for you. Next,
comment away. We got a super chat. So shout out to my man Edgar. I'm sorry, Edgar. Give you the damn Don King. And I'll take a breather. Shout out to Don King.
Hey, everybody, let's have some fun. You don't live but once, and when you're dead, you're done. So let the good times roll. It don't matter whether you're young or old. Let the good times roll.
Shout out to Edgar. Now, he asked the question of where does GGG go? Like, where is he going to go in his career? Charlo or Andrea retires. Now, look, as much shit as I talk about Canelo, I'm going to talk the equal shit about GGG. He's been sitting around really not fighting anybody, waiting for that payday, basing his whole existence off of Canelo. And my thing is this with GGG, like there's some great, spectacular fights from the middleweight division. Andrade, I think, would be a great fight for him, and for Andrade as well, because it's a unification fight. And GGG now has 2 belts. Andrade has one of the belts technically. He might not have it much longer because he's nobody knows what the fuck's going on in his career. He's supposed to fight Zach Parker, but then the fight got canceled because he pulled out. So we'll see what happens. But Andrade for now has a belt, so that could be a great unification fight. But I don't think GGG wants that fight because the risk isn't worth the reward in his eyes or his team's eyes, like Tom Laughlin guys. Charlo now, the only person on earth, I'm gonna say it like this, and you Canelo fans, listen up. The only person on earth that I will criticize more than Canelo for anything is Charlo, because yes, he was on the wrong side of the whole franchise thing. I understand all that. Like, he's got a right to feel some type of way about not fighting Canelo, but Jamal Charlo has been a freaking diva and been wasting his career. He talks about Demetrius Andrade being a horrible fighter and whatnot and not doing this and not doing that. He's fighting a guy his next fight that Andrade and Daniel Jacobs already beat many years ago, a couple years ago. Andrade beat Selecki 3 years ago. Jacobs beat Selecki 5 years ago. And he's fighting him now. So my thing is like Charlo or GG would be a great fight, but I think Charlo has got to that place in his career where he's become complacent. He had all the potential to be a great fighter. When he's motivated and he's on, he's damn good. He's really good. But I think he's got a very, very lazy in his boxing career. Just being honest. Let me see. 12 rounds with Liam Williams. Who is Liam Williams? He's a guy that fought a guy that Canelo fought, Liam Smith, and when it was a close fight.
Go away out.
Where? To where?
Did you get that one?
Oh, it's Carl. I didn't even see this. Shout out to Carl for the super chat. We'll give him the big bad booty daddy because he likes the Scott Steiner. So shout out to Carl.
Bump and grind. And it's only a matter of time because they call me the big bad booty daddy.
Have it.
Yeah,
put them in the Steiner recliner. Yeah. He says this one is for Edgar. Can you put Edgar in the Steiner recliner? He's been put there. Edgar, you in the Steiner recliner, champ. Carl don't put you in the Steiner recliner.
Carl was a Carl, baby. You gotta let you know real quick. A big booty.
Let me see. Canelo was being outboxed by Amir Khan until Khan's chin gave him. Yeah, give me a break. Amir Khan was lighting up Canelo. Don't give me all this about what has he done. Amir Khan was lighting up a 47-pounder. Don't please stop. Please, AD. Please. Just enjoy Canelo exposed by Bivol week here on True School Sports. Just enjoy. Let me see. I showed your video where you called out Canelo for not fighting Andrade. Now he thinks he's avoiding Canelo low key when it's high key, but it's okay. Little by little, the truth will prevail. It will. For those that know, and for those that don't know, January 1st, when Luis Ortiz fought Charles Martin here in South Florida, I went to the fight, and Frank Sanchez was on the card, so Canelo came to the fight.
Supported fighter
to support his fellow stablemate in Frank Sanchez, and he happened to sit in this little crevice that happened to be really close to where I was sitting. So I pulled my camera out, I ran up on him, and I told him, "Hey, when are you gonna fight Andrade?" And he said he's a fucking horrible fighter. So the truth's gonna prevail. He listen. What's in the dark will always come to the light, and Canelo didn't believe in himself enough to fight Andrade. So listen. Hopefully he fights him one day. I'm optimistic of that. I'd rather the fight happen than it not happen, but I just don't think he will. I don't have that confidence that he will. So it's going to look bad on him. It will, mark my words, it will be a blemish on his career when it's all said and done. Obviously, Canelo's accomplished great things. He's been 3-division lineal champion, 4-division champion, sold out stadiums, done some great things in his career. But the Andre thing will be a blemish on his career. Mark my words.
If it doesn't happen, what we'll say is Canelo can handle fighters with movement.
Hey, Usam, check this clown comment. He said, Bivol is a good boxer, but his resume, what do we say about resumes? Resumes don't, when it comes to actually what happens in the ring on fight night, resumes don't mean shit. Because most of you Canelo fans most of you guys, it's funny. This always happens. This always happens. When Canelo was getting ready to fight somebody like Plant, right? When he was getting ready to fight Plant, listen. When he was getting ready to fight Plant, they said Plant didn't have no good resume. Now that Canelo fought him, he got a good resume. Bivol didn't have no good resume. Now that Canelo's fought Bivol, he got a good resume. Yeah. Miss me with the bullshit. Miss me.
I think AD's just lonely and wants to get attention.
Huh?
I think he just lonely wants attention.
Yeah.
Healing
Collective. This channel is pure hate. Absolutely not. Go look at how many different fighters are covered on this channel.
Ain't no hating.
How many of your favorite fans cover amateur boxing?
This ain't no hating here. The problem is that some of the we come and tell you some narratives that you don't like, and now we hating because it's not what your agenda is. God bless you.
Carl said, "Oh shit, it's BT out of his chair." Listen, I'm not as crazy as my dad, but I'm still his son. I got his DNA, so I have it in me. But
don't get it twisted. Walk up on him on a boxing match. You see
what are you supposed to do if he has a better resume? Lay down, yeah. What you're supposed to do. So this is how boxing works, guys. When you have a better resume than the fighter you fight, what you do is. What's my notebook at? Well, you take you're good. You take a piece of paper out.
Take your pen.
No. You take a piece of paper out, and the guy's supposed to just lay down and let the rep count to 10. That's how boxing works, apparently. Liam Williams is better than Yildirim. He's better than Yildirim, and he's better than Fielding. Healing collector. I think he made some. He may need some healing. Maybe some sexual healing.
You're talking about what I just said.
Like Marvin Gaye said.
You're just lonely tonight. We'll pray for you.
So it is what it is, man.
Yeah, the bottom line is, I will say about Canelo is he always supports all his stablemates. He's there for them regardless. But every time he's gone, his plan's gone wrong. He predicted Martinez the day before was going to knock out Charlo, whatever it was. And what happened?
Listen, Paxo Flow's coming in with a great timely comment here. Shout out to him. Mm-hmm. The bigger picture is that the whole Canelo team is doing bad, except Frank Sanchez. The whole team is doing bad. Mm-hmm. I think. Look, the Canelo team this year, most of the fighters on the Canelo team, these guys have all been losing because they've been fighting, generational talents. They fought. Okay, so far the Canelo team this year has fought against Charlo, Shakur Stevenson, Bivol, Montana Love, and I don't even remember who Frank Sanchez's opponent was. Someone can tell me who his opponent was, but when you talk about Stevenson and Charlo, and then now Bivol, those are all really good fighters. Yeah. And Reynoso hasn't had the answers to make those fights. Forget winning the fights, just make them competitive. So I'm not saying I'm not here to discredit Eddie Reynoso, but he's got to make some adjustments. He's to go back to the drawing board and figure some things out.
2 managers a year, trainer of the year, so he's up there.
He's up there, but right now, every trainer has a good and bad periods.
It happens.
Happens to all trainers. No trainer has been undefeated their whole career training guys. It doesn't happen. Right now, he's in a bad spot, but you see who else we got. No, see, AD, you may be new to this channel. I'm not like that. If Canelo wouldn't even have to win that fight to get credit from me. He just gets credit for signing the contract. The minute he signs that contract, I'm going to talk about him like he's one of the greatest Mexican fighters ever. I mean, he is one of the greatest. He's one of the greatest. He's not the greatest or top 5, but he's in the top 10. He's one of the greatest. My whole attitude will change. That's it. Now, he's got bigger problems than Andrew. He got to fight Bivol, all right? You need to worry about that. Before you worry about anything else, you need to fight if he fights Bivol.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think he's going to go easier route.
Most of these retarded fans who claim Boo Andre show against Liam Williams, it's only based on a 10-second clip sniped where Boo was unbalanced with the camera angles. It looked like he was hurt. Yeah, he wasn't hurt. But it is what it is. BT on points. Canelo fans didn't bother to know or study before the fight. They didn't. Most of them did. I mean, now credit to the educated Canelo fans, because not everybody's bad. Not all, but most. Not all Canelo fans are bad. but it's just most of them. It's most of the ones that we happen to interact with here on True School Sports. The ones that know boxing, they knew Bivol was a tough fight. But the ones that just come only for the Canelo fights, or they don't really follow the sport like that, they say, oh well, once this guy feels that big power punch with Canelo, it's over, and that wasn't the case. That was never going to be the case.
Not like you said, not all, but most Mexican fans, because there's a lot of Mexican fans that I've read through comments throughout the whole channel media thing, and a lot of them say, you know what, they admit it, I'm a Canelo fan, but you know what, they will beat the shit out of him.
The shit out of them.
Kudos to those Mexican fans that know what they're talking about. Because there's a lot of them out there too. So not all, but most.
But most. You know what I'm saying? So listen, man. So AD, you know what AD? Hold on. I'm gonna encourage AD. All right. Go vote on our poll, man. Because people have been telling me, look, like this isn't even my real channel name. My real channel name is actually like True School Sports, but I changed it. Just to have fun with you guys, just to troll you guys. And you know what? People like it so much that they've been telling me to keep it for not just this week, but all next week as well. So you have a chance to change things here. You have a difference. You can make a difference. Go vote on the poll because hold on, let me refresh. Let me refresh and see what the stats are. Yeah, what are the stats right now on this poll? Because right now it's not even close. Right now, 59% of people want me to keep the name for another week.
It's a no-brainer. Okay,
right now, so it went up 1%. At 145 votes, it actually went up by 1%. So you got a chance to make a difference and to stop the Canelo hate if it bothers you that much.
That's right.
So go vote on the poll.
God bless you.
You see, most of them were hyping Bivol, were doing it because they wanted to hype Canelo victory as much as possible. Absolutely, that too. I had that. There was very few like genuine Canelo fans. Like a lot of them that were hyping up Bivol as well. It was more so to like if Canelo won, they could say, "Wow, he beat another undefeated like." That bullshit they always
that fight was going on. You couldn't hear a pin.
Couldn't hear a pin.
You couldn't hear a pin. And I mean, Bill had everything against him.
Oh, my bad. So Healing said that I got a bit out of pocket. He said, I said this channel is hate for the name trigger much.
Okay.
Well, yeah. Well, listen, I don't hate Canelo. I don't know him.
Listen,
Canelo, I can't hate someone I don't know.
Canelo work ethic in the gym is one of the best. Respect to him. You can't take that over. He supports his fighters. He's done a lot for
and
boxing.
He's been with Eddie Reynoso his whole career, so I give him that much.
So we're not saying that. I just think that, and I will say, I'm not saying other fighters probably done the same thing. They never fought the best of the best. But I just think this issue we have here, like you claim that you're the best and this and that, but when it comes to fighting one fighter, you say he's horrible, but you look horrible last Saturday. I'm
gonna change. Let's see. Like Usam says. I hate Canelo. Fuck Canelo. So what? Yeah. Nobody's entitled like nobody. No,
it's your
not everybody likes me. Not everybody likes you. So what is what it is?
It is what it is. But what we're supposed to just all be.
I want to say this. Right? I want to say this. I want to talk about a bit of a different topic. So Bivol is the guy around. Listen, fuck Canelo. From 160 to 175, the guy to beat right now is Dimitri Bivol. Whether you like it or not, the guy to beat is Dimitri Bivol. And what I wanted to ask, let's fucking off and say, throw him to the trash can for a second. Yeah. You got Andrade, you got Beterbiev. Well, no, we'll exclude Beterbiev. You got Andrade, you got Benavidez. We'll start Benavidez. How do you think about Benavidez and Bivol will play out if it ever happened? Because they were sparring partners. Everyone says that. Some people say that Benavidez beat up Bivol on sparring, which really doesn't matter. How do you think about Dave Benavidez and Bivol will play out?
After what I've seen this week from Bivol?
Yeah.
I'm going for Bivol.
Oh, so now you think Bivol.
I think Bivol, the way he's smart in the ring. He's smart. He's got a game plan. He doesn't deviate from it. And he's very disciplined.
So, you know, Dave Benavidez is literally like the best offensive fighter in boxing. If you go by percentages, I know you go by percentages, but I'm just saying he lands about 36.2% of his punches, if I'm not mistaken, somewhere around that range.
I just think.
You think Bivol can shut him down? Could he shut down the offense of Benavidez?
Yes, his quickness and his speed and his space and his range. Yes. Why I pick Benavidez over Canelo is because I think he's a younger, hungrier fighter. He's got more. They both have practically the same kind of style coming forward, and I just think he's gonna overpower him.
He's gonna overpower Benavidez?
No. I'm talking. He'll overpower Canelo if they fight. I'm talking about why I pick Benavidez over Canelo.
Okay.
But if you ask me about Canelo, Bivol and Benavidez, I'm definitely going with with the skills that in the discipline that Bill said. They said that they thought that Canelo was going to break him down, knock him out with all the power, this and that. I do not think that Benavidez would get that close to Bivol to do that.
Okay. Well, yeah, I think. Yeah,
I don't know about the Benavidez and him fought.
Benavidez?
No, Benavidez
and Bivol.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I don't know about that one.
That's a tough.
That's like the one that really gets me. Like, man, like who would really win that? To me, that's like a pick 'em. Some people may disagree, but they forget like both those guys. Like I said last night, like both those guys, better be and Bivol. They have their own misconceptions about them. Like people think Better Biev is just his knockout puncher, but he can box his ass off. And then people think Bivol is just this boxer, but he can punch too. It's just that nobody makes him have to get knockouts. He's mastered the art of boxing so much. Listen, 7 straight UDs. Who's gonna stop? Who's gonna stop it?
And we know Better Biev's got the 100% with a knockout thing in boxing. But I think that'll be a match in him and both of those fighters right there. I'll be honest with you.
And like what Usam's trying to tell you, you can't base your prediction on the Canelo fight. Benavidez and Canelo are two different styles.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. I just think I'm going to say the way the movement and everything and the range that Bill and the smartness and the intelligence. I think he will. But
I'm gonna agree with Rico's comment. I agree with Rico's comment. Full fledged. He says spar me is nothing. Bivol would school David on a Saturday night. It's levels. Benavidez would lose to Canelo as well.
Wow,
that's right. I agree with that.
Okay.
And then you got here's the question, Pops. Now. I know right now he's at 160. He hasn't fought 75, but let's just say the middle 168.
Who's that?
Who you got between Bivol and Andre?
Bivol and Andre?
Bivol and Andre. Who you got in that one?
Shit.
That's a tough one.
That's a tough one, but I would probably. Oh shit! You got me with that one.
You think Bivol win?
I like Bivol, but right now at this moment, I'm thinking I'm riding with Boo.
Come on, Boo Boo.
Yeah.
Dang, that's tough. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I might actually lean towards Bivol for that one.
Oh shit!
I might actually lean slightly towards Bivol for that one, only because my only question with Andre is like, as much as I love Andre, I love Andre. Yeah. I don't think he got I don't think his gas tank is as good as Bivol. So my thing is, if Andre was gonna beat Bivol, he would have to hurt him somewhere in the first 6 rounds of that fight.
I think Bivol was too smart, but I think Bivol was too smart.
Too smart for what? Andre?
Yeah, he's a smart fighter.
Well, you said, but you picked Andre.
I still pick Andre.
Okay.
I'm just
make that fight. Make that fight happen. Make that shit happen. I want to see that fight.
He fought a smart fight. How many times with the Canelo fight, I was telling you, Bivol had Canelo in the ropes. I'm like, go to the body, punch me like that. He's sticking to his plan. Sticking to his plan. Yeah, real good. Drunken Box MMA says, who do you think's the one between Jamel and Bryan Castano? I told you one body what.
He didn't hear what you said earlier, so tell him.
Okay, let me tell you. If Castano, this is a big if, but if Castano comes in there and fights Charlo the way he did the first time, he's winning the fight.
Yeah. I
think Charlo had to go back and do his homework. I know his record says in rematches he's a monster. I don't think he has enough the confidence like Castano to beat him.
Okay, now I'm gonna give you this.
Here we go.
I'm gonna give you this. Yep. What do you think about Bivol against David Morrell Jr.?
I really haven't seen much of David Morrell. I've heard a lot from him. I'm still gonna ride with Bivol. Only for experience.
I'll say Bivol for now.
Yeah, experience.
For now. But then,
still, I have not seen Morrell. I haven't seen Morrell complete his fight, so I can't really judge him right off the bat. I know he's young, up and coming, and very talented. People talk good about him, but I gotta see what he does.
Okay. And then, what do you think about? What do you think about Bivol versus Caleb Plant at 168?
Fuck Caleb Plant.
Oh,
I'm riding with Bivol.
Why you say that?
I lost respect for Caleb Plant. I lost all respect, skills or not, and we lost respect for that motherfucker.
Why?
If I'm beating your ass in a street fight, if I'm beating your ass in a fight, I'm not
going to respect my skills. I respect your skills.
Well, that's not one of the skills you do. You're not going to talk to me when I'm fighting with you. No, I don't. No, I'm riding with Bivol.
Yeah?
I think Bivol's too smart. Bivol doesn't just have a jab. Bivol can throw, can put power, doesn't tire out enough. And I mean, he's got everything that I thought that Plant had that he doesn't have. So I'm going with Bivol.
What about Golovkin versus Bivol at 168?
Fuck Golovkin. He's old. He's retired. Bivol.
He said Bivol. So it sounds like you're taking
I'm not saying because he won this fight. I think Gigi's too old. That's my whole point. He sat down waiting for $18 million. He's never going to get now.
So from my understanding, you're pretty much picking Bivol versus the field except Andre. Everybody picking him again.
Yeah, pretty much.
What about Bivol versus Zach Parker?
So stupid, bro.
What about Zach Parker, man?
I'm right with Bivol.
All right.
Because Bivol got power too. People just don't.
Benavidez and Bivol will jump plant. They're gonna jump that man in the alley.
Yeah.
They're coming.
I mean, but Plank can retire now. He's having a baby. God bless him. What are you going to a Canelo fight? 10 million?
So,
God bless him.
Maybe 5.
That was it?
Maybe 5, yeah.
No, I thought it was 10 million.
5 plus pay-per-view buys, I think.
Oh, okay.
So,
God bless him.
Canelo versus Charlo, Benavidez versus Plant, Andrew versus GGG are all the fights. I absolutely agree.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens with Canelo, man. I think the Charlo fight will be the most winnable for him because, like, okay, with Andrew, Canelo versus Jamal Charlo. That out of Andre and all
Jamal
guys.
got to step it up, man.
Because Jamal,
like he was trolling.
Jamal has a really great jab, and when he's on, like he's fantastic when he's motivated. But hold on, let me finish. The thing that he has, that Canelo has working for him in a Charlo fight is that Charlo is not like a really athletic fighter. He's not that athletic, so he's gonna be there in front of him a lot more. Charlo has what I call the Texas style of boxing.
What's that?
Texas style of boxing is very, very simple. They don't like most. If you look at like Spence, Jamal, most fighters from Texas, even then, like if you watch the amateur fight, if you go to amateur tournaments and you watch Texas fighters, they're not really fighters that they love to fight toe to toe. They don't like to move laterally a whole lot. They like to parry a lot. They're very jab dominant.
Fighting the back foot.
Not necessarily. They're aggressive come forward fighters, but Virgil Ortiz is another one. Like Virgil Ortiz, Spence, Jamal Charlo, Jamal, they all have that similarity. They're all from Texas. They all that Texas style.
So you say Virgil Ortiz will get pieced up by
Boots?
Yeah. Because of the style he has, pretty much.
No, I didn't not because of his style. Just because I think Boots is better than him. He needed to fight Michael McKinson. Virgil Ortiz, listen, I'm gonna say it again. If Virgil Ortiz, because they said Virgil Ortiz had this condition where he almost died and all this stuff. So hope his health is okay. But if his health is truly that bad,
for boxing talk, that's all.
Go up to 154. Because I'll tell you this: if he fight at 47 and he don't fight the guy he was supposed to fight, Michael McKinson, it's a duck. Straight up, because they had a signed contract and everything. Yeah. Zach Parker got Andre Palms. He do, but that's gonna be a good fight whenever it happens. It's not gonna be anytime soon. Hopefully, happens soon. Usam says, "Man, if I was Caleb, I would have told Canelo, don't speak about my mother. I would have doubled down on it and really started insulting his mother. Even though I don't speak about mothers, but it's cool being petty. It is fun being petty at times."
Yeah, at the end of the day, I just didn't like the fact that he was talking in the middle of the fight.
Yeah. Usama says that the Texas fighters, they sit down a lot on their punches. They do. Virgil, Spence, Jamel, these guys all do that.
Is that like a Derek James thing?
Especially with Derek James fighters. Derek James fighters very compact. They're not into wasting that movement at all. They're coming to break your damn eye socket and your ribs if they can.
Right.
So that's what it is. Styonus and Boots are the new threats. Styonus, watch out for him.
He's coming, man. He's
coming off that good win, that very, very impressive win against Butiev.
Yeah.
Watch out for him. We got to stop. You're right. Eddie is so right. We need to stop ignoring Styonus. Listen, there's a lot of guys in the welterweight division people don't know about that they should stop ignoring. Styonus is one of them. Pistol Pete Dobson. He has been on TV, but y'all stop ignoring him. He's really good.
He's gonna be somewhere. I just been reading about it on Instagram.
He's fighting in Atlanta on June 11th on some card. Yeah, but really good, really good fighter. I hope Andre comes back the same. He's kind of getting up there in age. That's my only concern. But listen, he's a fighter that hasn't really taken a lot of punishment in the ring. So his 35 or 34, however old he is now, it's not the same as for most fighters.
Does that compare that with Canelo's knowledge?
You can't. Because Canelo's been in some dog fights, been pro since he was 15 years old.
Jesus.
So it's different. McKinson deserves the fight if Virgil stays. He does. I mean, let's call a spade a spade. Virgil's fought some good veterans who are past their best. Michael McKinson was a southpaw. Okay, he didn't have barely any knockouts, but very, very crafty, deceptively big. If you go see him, he's very big in person.
Yeah.
He was supposed to be the first undefeated guy that Virgil fought, ranked number 2 or number 3 in the WBO. He was trying to get the Crawford fight. He was trying to go that route. So again, if he stays at welterweight, he fights anybody besides that motherfucker from Portsmouth, UK. I'm gonna have a lot to say about it.
Who are you gonna fight with? Bausi and Richards.
It's tough.
You still don't.
I don't have a prediction yet for that fight.
Are you serious?
You know, Buatsi versus Richards is a good fight. I want to favor Buatsi because he's a more talented fighter, and Buatsi is he's just got more tools in the toolbox. But think about Richards, as we saw when Craig Richards fought Bivol, right? When he fought Bivol didn't look his best.
Wow.
And the reason Bivol didn't look his best. He didn't expose him, but
what did he do differently that Canelo has done?
It's not even what he did. It's just how he's built, like his dimensions and stuff. He's taller, he's very awkward, and he can punch a little bit. So that gave Bivol some fits.
Movement.
He might actually pull off the upset. Craig is very good.
On Buatsi's?
He's very good. You know, Buatsi hasn't really fought anybody tough yet. To me, this is really like his first real test. He's got Virgil Hunter in his corner, so because of that, this is damn near a 50-50 fight. Virgil Hunter damn near handicaps this fight to a 50-50 fight just because he's in the corner for Buatsi. I like Buatsi. Yeah. I rate Buatsi highly, but Craig Richards has matured into a really good fighter over the years. He wasn't one of these British he wasn't. Look, a lot of these matchroom fighters, a lot of these British fighters, they don't really go through like a real progression in their career. They get spoon-fed, easy opponents by Eddie Hearn, and they pad that shit up real nice. But that for Richards, that wasn't the case. Mm-hmm. He had to fight the top guys domestically. He fought like when he fought that, what was that guy's name? Not Jake Paul, but Jake Ball. He really good fighter domestically. When he fought him, he was an underdog, beat him. When he fought the guy Andre Sterling gave him hell. Richards has been tested. He fought in the end. He fought Bivol. So
what do you think about?
Don't write off the spider. Don't write off the spider.
I remember this prospect that he's a heavyweight, a top rank that I really like a lot. I forgot his name. So white dude heavyweight. He's real good.
He's a white dude. Richard Torres.
Yeah. What do you think about him?
You think about him? I don't think anything about him yet.
He's an Olympian.
He's a smaller heavyweight. He lost in the gold medal. He lost in the gold medal match.
But he's still good.
He's good. Lost in the gold medal match.
You don't sound impressed by him.
I like him. I think Richard Torres is gonna be a fantastic fighter to watch. Mm-hmm. I think it'd be entertaining, but I don't know, man. I just don't think
too early.
First of all, it's too early. Second of all,
you don't think he's got it?
He's very small for the
heavyweight division. So he's a cruiserweight then. He's
really a cruiserweight. Like if I were his manager, his ass is fighting at bridgeweight. He's gonna be. I would make him the most dominant bridgeweight champion of all time. That way, when they talk about the bridgeweight division,
but the bridgeweight, it's only one section of body that has it. I mean, that sucks.
That's good because if you're the bridgeweight champion, you're the champion.
I mean, but you're not gonna get a lot of challenges in the bridgeweight. Think about it.
Whoever becomes,
you're gonna sit in one section of body for the rest of your life.
Whoever becomes the first dominant bridgeweight champion is gonna go on history forever. If I was his manager, I would try to make him the most dominant bridgeweight champion of all time. That way, when I get to heavyweight, whatever big fight I have, it's gonna be worth more money.
First of all, bridgeweight hasn't been around long enough for you to make it the all time. Even a year, a few months.
The best division in boxing. What are you talking about?
I think you said Wilder should go to the bridgeweight.
Wilder should go to bridgeweight.
You got to play in mind.
He can kill everybody.
He need to come back to the heavyweight division and take notice. That's what he need to do.
Let me see. Would Canelo beat bridgeweight champion Oscar Rivas? No.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna use the Canelo fans line. Once he lands that big Colombian power punch,
is it?
Might be it.
Yeah.
Andrade will be on the pound list if it was for ducking and had the opportunity to show his skill versus the best at 150. Who did he duck?
They're gonna say the Charlos.
He didn't duck the Charlos.
They're gonna tell you the Charlos. I'm telling
you. They ducked him.
That's what he's referring to, right?
And just so you guys know, tomorrow, I'm actually the live for tomorrow is gonna be my pound list.
Wow.
Well, actually, no, it's not. I'm gonna wait for Charlo and Castano to fight.
And then make it.
I don't even know if I should do that because there's so
many. Wait,
I'll wait. I have a pound list.
You got Rodriguez fighting. What's his name?
Rangasai.
Oh,
I forgot about him.
You got that coming up. You got a lot of other fights. Wait till.
I'm gonna do a pound list video
soon.
When all these big fights conclude, because we're in like a crazy stretch where it's like big fight after big fight. Once it concludes, we'll definitely be making some revisions. But
for now.
Yo, BT, can you make a top 10 Asian fighters? Nah, I'm not the guy for that. I know. I have to really sit down and think about that one. But you have Inoue, you have Tanaka, you'd have Junto Nakatani, you'd have a couple guys. I gotta check in on that. There was this one prospect I watched fight like 3 or 4 years ago, and I did a prospect review video about him.
Yeah.
And I haven't checked on him since. I gotta see how he's doing.
Yeah.
Kento Hatanaka. That's his name.
Why don't you ask Haro? He probably knows.
Yeah. Wait, a lot of boxing coming on. Yeah, Joe Smith Jr. better be do a pound for pound list and do revisions later. You know what? I do have a pound for pound list. Might be a little controversial, but I'm gonna do it tomorrow. Then we'll do that. We'll do the True School Sports pound for pound list. What's tomorrow? Tomorrow's what, the 12th? So we're gonna do I guess we'll make it like to where like every 12th of every month we'll update the pound for pound list every 12th. The 12th of every month.
Better than the section of bodies.
We'll do it every month. I was at the library today working on some stuff, and I wrote down a pound for pound list. So I'll reveal it tomorrow.
Hey, they were saying that WBC is supposed to get with Tyson Fury to see if he gonna retire or not.
He need to vacate. Like if he's not gonna vacate,
they were saying by Wednesday. What's tomorrow? Tomorrow's Tuesday. So by this week, I think they said that Fury gonna retire or not.
Usam the fanboy killer says Joshua Buatsi and Shakur Stevenson started the same year as a pro. They're in the same Olympic class, but apparently, according to some people, Eddie Hearn is a great promoter.
So what's his point?
Well, his point is that he's moving Buatsi so fucking slow.
Yeah, well,
he's saying that if he was great, he would have.
Right. But I mean, you look at.
He's just now fighting a Craig Richards type of opponent.
And let me tell you, not just Eddie Hearn. All promoters always put some good fighters in the back of the shelf, and for some reason they don't. Put them out there like they're supposed to. That's when you decide to promote a fighter, it's your job to get the fights, get the big fights, and do what you're supposed to do for every one of them. Sometimes not like they're biased to certain fighters, and that's just the way the thing of the business is.
That's just the way the cookie crumbles in boxing. So it is what it is. But yeah, stay tuned for that pound for pound list tomorrow. Yeah, that's gonna be a crazy one.
I'm gonna make one. I don't believe in that pound bullshit.
Pop is gonna make one. So the True School Sports pound for pound list be tomorrow.
I don't believe in that pound. It's all. Subjective.
It's a tool. It's subjective, and it's also a tool for the networks.
Okay, that's fine. Keep it there. I ain't got time for that shit. Fight the fights, and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did believe it at one time, but then
so what if you have a fighter who's selling a lot of tickets and it has a great resume, and you have a fighter who's boring and doesn't have a great resume?
I give two fucks about that. I'm telling you, I don't care about what if this is pound of town, he beat this guy. Blah, blah, blah. No, I want. For me, I don't need to go through all that craziness.
You don't?
Nah, it's just got me up a wall more. So because after I learned that, I was like, well, what the hell? No, that's your own opinion on what you think it is. Charlo even said that. The comments in Charlo, Jamel Charlo said
some scrub named 44 General. So shout out to 44 General. He says corny YouTube name. It's the best YouTube name apparently. Hey, well, you know what? You think? No. If you think it's corny, I would highly encourage you to go vote on our poll. A lot of people have been saying, because this isn't my number YouTube name. My number YouTube name is True School Sports, aka the untouchable True School Sports Empire. But I changed my name temporarily because of the fight, and people like it so much that they've been encouraging me to not just keep the name for this week, but keep the name for the following week as well. So I got a poll right now. If you hate the name so much, you can go vote no.
That's it.
And you could contribute some change. Let's check in on our poll. Let's check in on the poll and see how it was doing it. It was at 60% last time. It's at 40% now. Where's it at now? So right now,
by tomorrow you'll know.
It's at it actually went up a percentage point, so it's at 61% now.
Yeah.
So out of 164 votes, 61% out of 164
so far.
Want me to keep the name for an extra week? I'm gonna go on Instagram and see, because I had a poll on my Instagram as well. I'm gonna see what the Instagram numbers look like. Yeah. So if you go on Instagram, 84% say I should keep it. So out of 19 votes on Instagram, 84% say I should keep it. Oh man!
The public is talking.
The people are speaking.
The people are speaking. So guess what?
That's what it is, man. Look, it's not my fault. I'm trying to give people what they want.
Yeah.
It's not my fault, guys. I didn't think it would catch on like that.
Man, we have to give it to subscribers. You know what I'm saying? Tomorrow, aren't you going to talk tomorrow about Castano? And
we'll do that.
Tomorrow, we'll talk about that. I have to go to bed.
44 General says he knows about the poll. Okay, well, I just want to let you know.
God bless you for you.
And you could have contributed some change. Right now, it's way behind. So you're going to have to really get some people to really vote.
Yeah, and make a change.
Let me see. Canelo has been giving BT hell. Let him keep it as long as he wants. Facts. But all these Canelo fans been shooting their mouth, being very foul on me over the years. So let me have my fun.
Mm-hmm.
He did. Honestly, look, I don't even hate Canelo like that. I'm just having fun.
People just take things too far.
Canelo exposed by Bivol proudly presents. Are you Are you interested in seeing Emiliano Vargas fight? Yes, I am. I'm excited to see him fight.
Kovalev's fighting that card.
But I'm honestly more excited to see Evan Holyfield fight because
that's the key right
Evan
there.
Holyfield. I did an interview with this boxing reporter named Damon Gonzalez, who's been around for a long time, a couple months ago, and he pretty much said in the video, he made a bold prediction. He said in 3 years, the next big fight, the next mega fight in boxing, at Madison Square Garden, he believes is going to be Xander Zayas versus Evan Holyfield. So ever since he said that, I was already paying attention to both those guys because I like both those fighters. But now I'm paying attention even more. That'd be a good fight. Yeah. What do you guys think? What would you guys think about a future fight with Xander Zayas and Evan Holyfield like 3 years from now, 154 Madison Square Garden? If they both, that'd be a huge fight because then you have the Puerto Rican crowd.
What's funny is he was the only person that I know that would come out and think about something like that. I really put your mind thinking about.
Yeah, he might be onto something here because they're both in the same weight class. They both have big star potential. Like Xander is being pushed with the top ranked machine behind him as the next Puerto Rican star. He's co-main eventing on the Puerto Rican Day Parade, which is always, as you know, a big deal for Puerto Rican boxers. Then you got Evan Holyfield, who's the son of, the real deal himself, Evander. So that could be a hell of a fight down the road. Yeah. You see, but yeah, man. You look tired.
Yeah, medication. I gotta go. My heart.
All right, so look, I think Pop's gonna get up on. He's gonna get up on out of here.
Yeah, I'll be out here tonight. I'll be back tomorrow. God bless you guys. Good comments, bad comments. God bless you, and thank you for being here. Keep supporting the channel. It's only gonna get better. Like I always say, our success is your success.
There you go. Just making it happen with the boxing stuff. But I'm gonna stay on here for like 10 more minutes, and then I'll head up off out of here because I gotta make a lot of videos, a smorgasbord of videos to make about all the stuff happening. Eddie Morales says Evan Holyfield does not have the goods. Well, we don't know yet. It's 9 fights in. I think so far in his 9 little fights he's had, he's shown good hand speed, good punch power. We gotta wait and see him step up before we really have any assessment on him. But I thought it was very interesting that he mentioned that fight. I never thought about that matchup. And I think about a lot of I always think about hypothetical matchups, and that's one that never ever crossed my mind. But yeah, no, the Triller card is gonna be really good. I'm not gonna watch the Triller card because obviously the Showtime card is the best card of the week with Castano and Charlo for Undisputed, and also having Jerron Boots Ennis as co-main event. That card sells itself. But man, that Triller card, I know the matchups aren't the best, but just some of the fighters, some of the talent on that card is interesting enough for me to want to check it out and whatnot. So we'll see. MAW says he's got Xander. Yeah, okay. Xander's a hell of a fighter. Xander is a hell of a fighter. I hope Xander just keep maturing and stay how he is now. Because I know for fighters, a lot of the times when you're a prospect and you start going into that stage of becoming a superstar, it's hard to stay humble and keep your feet on the ground. 44 General says, who has a resume today as good as Canelo? Romo Gonzalez. Charlo has a better resume than Canelo, hands down. No doubt about it. But Canelo's resume is still good. I would say Charlo. Let's see, how many fighters can we think of that got a better resume? You guys can even help me out if you want. Charlo to me has a better resume than Canelo because a lot of the guys he fought when he fought them, was first of all he fought top guys. Like for example, when he fought Carlos Cuadras, who was a 35-0 undefeated champion, it was in his 4th weight class, just like Canelo was in his 4th weight class now. He fought him with no tune-ups, at all. Beat him, and quite convincingly, in my opinion. 8-4, 116, 112. I thought he beat him, but I would say Charlo, Usyk has a better resume than Canelo. Nonito, that's a tough one. I would say Nonito as well. I don't think Canelo has the best resume. Everybody keeps talking about all this resume, and don't get me wrong, he's got a lot of big names on the resume, but when you look at the actual context of the fights, when did he fight them? What weight class were they at? What happened to them the fight before going in? It really, once you start looking at that on his resume, you can't sit here and say he has the best resume in boxing. Daniel Martinez says you are full of shit. I'm not. I might be. I had some granola earlier. I had some eggs. I had a little bit of candy. So you might be right, but as far as boxing goes, I think I'm pretty solid. BT, can Bacoli pull the upset on Yoka? Yeah. Yoka's tall. He's rangy. He's got really good jab. Obviously, he has those skills coming from the amateurs as he won the Olympic gold medal for France. But Bacoli's strong, and he's improved over the years since he lost to Michael Hunter. And that's actually probably one of the more underrated fights happening. Nobody's talking about that fight, and it's a good heavyweight fight. I'm actually gonna make a video about that fight tonight before I go to sleep. So that'll be a really good one. I do really rate Canelo, though. Bivol is just listen. Believe it or not, I have my problems with Canelo. I don't like how he handled the Andre situation, but I rate him too. Listen. You can't say he's not like an A-level fighter. He is. He's just beyond some bullshit when it comes to how he moves in his career. But there are guys in boxing with better resumes than Canelo. I know that might sound crazy to a lot of people, but it's the truth. But shout out to everybody here. I almost said it. No. Canelo exposed by Bivol rolls on. It rolls on. That match reminds me of Gary Russell versus Teo. It's a fire fight. Which matchup, Kazi? Which matchup? Bacoli versus Yoka? Is that the fight you're talking about? Yeah, I'm kind of pissed because I wanted to see Tony Yoka versus Hrgovic. That's the fight. I'm actually pissed off at. I'm pissed off at Bacoli, because we were supposed to. This fight was initially supposed to be Hrgovic versus Yoka, but then I guess Bacoli had already had a contract signed to fight Yoka, so then he protested. He protested to get the fight canceled and then get his fight to happen. That happened, and that's why we're getting Yoka versus Bacoli. But man, like I wanted to see that Hrgovic Yoka fight because that would have been a good test for Hrgovic. It would have been a rematch from when Yoka beat Hrgovic in the amateurs in the Olympics. That would have been great, but it is what it is. Kahi says, I got Xander for now off of experience. Yeah, obviously Xander's been a more active fighter. He's been a more active fighter than Evan, but Evan's been active too. He just doesn't have many fights, so we'll see. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how they develop. It's too early to tell right now. Both guys got to really, really step up in opposition. Is this guy Southpaw's little brother? No, not at all. I like Southpaw. I get along with him, but I get along with everybody. I never had one problem with anybody on YouTube, except maybe BFTV for a short period of time, but that don't really count. Johnny Boy, I'm probably the only boxing channel on this damn platform that is cool with almost every channel. I've had problems with barely anybody. Andre capped so much, but we all wanted Andre Copper cap. He capped so much crap, but he wanted all the champs at middleweight. Yeah, he did. Why didn't Andre fight Johnny Beck? Because Andre is 34 years old, and Andre is trying to get the highest profile fights possible. Because the sad reality is, and mind you, I like Johnny Beck. I've been a Johnny Beck fan longer than most people have known who he is. I made a prospect review video about Johnny Beck in 2018 when he was like 6-0. So I rate him. I think he's good. I think Andre, to know Andre, he'll give any middleweight in the world a big problem. But the reality is, if Andre beats Johnny Beck right now in his career, people are just going to treat him the same way they treated Liam Williams, who at the time when Andre fought him, everyone said that was going to be a tough mandatory challenger. They'll treat him like a lot of other good fighters on his resume. So he's just trying to get those fights against a big name so he can finally prove to the world that he is everything he says he is. What I will say is this: if the Zach Parker fight can't happen immediately, then I would like to see Andre come back down to 160 and defend his belt against Johnny Beck, because Johnny Beck has been calling him out. Johnny Beck is willing to fight him, but I know why Andre didn't fight him. It's because he's trying to get those big fights. And unfortunately, the WBO won't treat Andre like they treat other champions like Crawford and Usyk. When Crawford and Usyk both moved up to the next weight class as their WBO champions, they got immediate title shots. Andre's not allowed to do that for some reason. And they say he's got to fight Zach Parker. So if fighting Zach Parker will get him a chance at Benavidez or Canelo, then so be it. He'll do it. But Johnny Beck versus Andre is a fight that I would love to see. I would love to see in the future. He says, so you accept that motherfucker calling us Mexican border terrorists. Be careful who you hang around with. I don't hang around with anybody on this shit because this is not real life. Like, I don't know none of these guys in real life, and they don't know me in real life. I agree with some of his talking points. I don't agree with how he says his talking points. I don't think it's right to say that, call them border jumpers and things like that. But I do agree with most of what he says about Canelo when it comes to just boxing. Like, I do agree with a lot of what he says. But the same way, I'm cool with him. I'm cool with guys that are the opposite of him. There's channels that on the LDBC that I'm cool with everybody. So like, as long as they don't fuck with me, I'm okay. They're not gonna. This shit is like, nobody here is. It's not real life. It's just the internet. Like, it's just the internet. Win over Johnny Beck does 0 for Andre. Middleweight has more opportunity because GGG and Maul didn't want at middleweight. Yeah, that's what it is. Johnny Beck, unfortunately, like, he's just going to be treated. If Andre beats him, he's just going to be treated like Liam Williams. Now, back to Carl's comment. He said, so you accept. Bro, please stop trying to spin whatever he does on this channel back on me. That's whatever he does is whatever he does. He's his own man. I'm my own man. I've never had, in my dealings with Southpaw, I've never had a problem with him. He's been cool with me. So, did Andre part ways? Oh, going back to that, actually. In the same way people have had problems with Johnny Boy, whom a lot of people don't like, I've never had problems with him either. I've never had problems with Punch Drunk. What people have, like, all these YouTubers where people had problems with, like Punch Drunk and Southpaw and Johnny Boy and whoever the fuck else, Thunderdome. When I used to talk to him, like I've never had a problem with these guys because I treat people the way I want to be treated. I don't treat nobody bad. At least I don't try to, and I treat people with class and respect. So I've never had problems. It's that simple. If you treat people with class and respect, 99.9 times out of 10, you won't have any problems with them. Yes, you'll get assholes, but it's rare. Okay, so that's whatever he's doing on his channel. That's his business. This is my channel. Did Andre part ways from Hearn? Yeah, Eddie Hearn is not going to re-sign him after the Zach Parker fight is done. Their contract expires, so that's what it is. But listen, guys. On that note, I'm gonna end. Gerald says, salute to the Canelo Exposed by Bivol channel. LOL. I crack up every time I do the intro. Glad to tune in tonight. Yeah, Gerald. It was great having you. Make sure you go vote. If you haven't seen it already, I'm gonna flash it again. Make sure you guys go vote on our poll. You know, a lot of people have been messaging me saying that they love the name and they want me to keep it not just for this week, but all of next week. Right now, in our poll, 164 people have voted. 61% say they want the name to stay on the channel past this week. So, you know, we'll see how it goes. If you don't like the name, you can vote no and impact and change. But right now it's at what? Right now the poll is at 60% now for 172 votes. So, you know, we'll see how it goes. But yeah, we'll give it a couple days and then we'll see how it goes. But you know, on that note, guys, look, I'm getting out of here. It's been a fun live as always. I will be back here tomorrow to talk some more boxing with you fine folks. You guys take care. God bless you guys. And yeah, just take care. Be safe. And like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me. But I'm just a kid from Dania. So until next time, take care, guys.